All right, hello everybody. Welcome to I guess this would be what, 2.5 episode, two and a half
pretty much
of the Anime Mystics podcast. I'm Roman,
I am Steven, the Sanosuke Sama.
and this is episode 2.5 because we recorded episode 2, but due to some technical difficulties, we were unable to release it.
And I take full responsibility on that. That was all my bad. I'm so sorry. I feel I let everyone down. I let Roman down, and I will make it up because this episode is gonna be a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. Not quite sure how Roman is gonna do the editing, but we're gonna make this one a little bit more interesting to make up for the episode that's now lost to the ether.
Yes. I kind of feel like your cat should be making this apology.
Yeah, I will. We're gonna get those Crunchyroll translators. It'll be like subtitles from cat to English.
Yeah,
so people can understand how sorry she is for f***ing around. But yeah, that's my bad, guys. I'm so sorry for those that have been following since the first episode. But I think the one thing for sure that I want to carry over that we did last time is I wanted to thank you guys that have stuck around. I saw a lot of your comments on the first video, and I want to say thank you. That was pretty cool. I honestly didn't expect a response, let alone people taking time to watch the video and then commenting afterwards. That was pretty cool. I was really, really just, I guess, flabbergasted, for lack of a better term, that you all did that. And I just wanted to give a shout out to you guys. And encourage everyone to keep doing that. If you watch the video, by all means, comment and feedback, ask questions, because I feel that I think Roman and I are on the same page when we say we want to engage with you guys.
Yes.
And we definitely want to hear what you guys think and what you guys have to say, and we will do our damnedest to get back to you guys and kind of springboard off of that.
Right.
Looking over my notes from the last time, from 2 weeks ago, I saw that there was a user by the name of Weedhu Senpai, and it's been a month now, and you recommended Double Decker, and I do recall reading about that a little bit, how it was supposed to be like the spiritual successor to Tiger and Bunny. I haven't gotten to it yet. I do want to take you up on your offer and check it out, so hopefully soon, some point, I will get to that, or maybe Roman will get to that. And then we'll definitely get back to you on that. But yeah, we definitely have read that and saw that. And so, yeah, we'll get to it as soon as we can.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out as well.
Cool.
I still have a lot of recommendations, but I'll put it higher on the list.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I got a long list.
You're right, I know. There's still so many things that I haven't even gotten to, and we're already almost at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Boy. And then likewise, if anyone else has any more recommendations, just throw them out there. If anything we're talking about inspires anyone that you remember something from like last year, this year, earlier in the year, I don't know. I don't even know how far back we'll go. Whatever, man. Just throw them out there.
Yeah,
just throw them out there.
Whatever you can think of, just put them in the comments. And,
there you go.
And we'll go through it.
If you guys are like, oh yeah, Uzume's great, but you should watch Girls on Ponds or stuff like that, by all means, just throw them out there.
I keep seeing a lot of stuff for that.
For Girls on Ponds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I have no idea what it's from, but then I see the name and I go, hey, I remember that character from somewhere.
Yeah, and the Moe girls doing military things is a huge genre, I guess. I don't even know if that's officially the name for it, but yeah.
I mean, isn't it kind of similar to was that Strike Witches or
Strike Witches, Kansai Collection?
Yeah.
And now we have Azure Lane, Girls Frontline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that's a game, isn't it? Girls
yeah,
Frontline.
Yeah, that's a mobile game. Yeah.
Yeah, I started playing that a little bit, but I stopped after a day.
I heard it was really hard.
It probably is. I just had too much going on at the time.
That's fair. That's fair.
I might pick it up again later. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you wanna start us off with?
All right. So just another heads up, because of the lost episode, I might be going back and forth with a whole bunch of things or referencing things I thought I've mentioned before, but bear with me. But yeah, we're gonna cover a couple of things.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start off by saying that I did catch up with more Uzume, and this week's episode in particular, I watched it last night, and it went from being dumb to being feelsy, and I wasn't expecting this. So it was like, we're like episode, 10 out of 12, pretty much.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they want to just toughen up and straighten up and make us feelsy and stuff. And I was like, I wasn't expecting this. There was still a little bit of the creepy ha going on. But for the most part, it was trying to get to your feels. And thought it was a nice change of pace. Okay, I thought that after weeks of traumatizing that poor girl, it was nice to get some little, like, oh, maybe Tsubame isn't that bad after all. So I appreciated that.
Weeks of stealing her hair while she's at school.
Yes.
From her pillow.
Yes. Building dolls out of her.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I have not caught up with Uzumade yet. I am 2 weeks behind, which I'm thankful for, Steven, for not going into spoiler territory there.
Yeah, no.
But at least I have something to look forward to if we got into a little bit of seriousness.
Yes.
Because I do like when a show like this does put in a little serious episode here and there.
Yeah, it's a little break from the zany, crazy stuff. And I think that it was fairly welcomed. It's got me curious as to how they're going to end the show now, and if it's going to springboard into a second season. But for now, at least this was a nice break, I feel. And then your character even made an appearance. I don't think she talked.
No,
they just kind of were hinted at, but
Midori wasn't.
Midori wasn't in. No.
God.
Yeah. Sorry.
Forget what I said. I'm not looking.
Skipping this week's episode. Oh man.
Yeah, she's definitely taken over my favorite character spot for that series.
I'm still fairly convinced that Tsubame is the best waifu of the season. Because she just does so much, she gets it all done. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're a 10-year-old, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Beware.
Older.
Hide your kids.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to watching that. Probably after this. Who knows?
For sure.
Because I do got to catch up on it. I don't want to have 3 episodes to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the burn.
Yeah. I think the only series I actually caught up on. I'm caught up on 3 series.
Okay.
That is Golden Kamuy.
Okay.
Season 2.
Yes.
I'm caught up on That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And Goblin Slayer.
Okay.
Oh, and Hinamaru Sumo.
Okay, I still haven't seen Sumo.
I'm caught up on those 4.
Still haven't seen Sumo. So you were kind of talking about that. Oh, I think we were talking about this on the Lost episode, right?
I think I talked a little bit about it,
okay.
But I also brought it up in the first one because we were talking about what we were watching that season.
So break it down for me, just real quick. Sumo, just brief. What's it about? How's it go?
It's about a guy, high school student named Hinamaru.
Okay.
I cannot remember his last name.
Probably Sumo. I'm just kidding. Okay.
And he wants to be a Yokozuna.
Okay.
The highest rank for a sumo wrestler.
Okay.
So he's seen trying to get to this certain high school that has a really good sumo club.
Okay.
He gets lost and finds his way to a school that has a sumo club but only has one person in it.
Huh. Okay.
And he ends up helping him to start the club up, like actually gain some members
and build it up.
And build it up from I guess the ground, since he was just using a self-made ring in front of like a tree.
Got it.
And now because some thugs were taking over the actual club room, they had to kick them out.
Got it.
And now it's just their journey to get to nationals and show that they can be rank with the top schools.
Got it. Okay.
While he also tries to become a Yokozuna, even though it's a little difficult for him because he's too short.
Got it. Okay. Sounds like Love Live, but sumo.
I suppose. I have no idea. I've never watched Love Live. There might be similarities. Who knows?
Yeah, it's always like the same. Like, we have to build the club, and then some stuff happens, and it becomes like, oh, we got to do this now. That's the rest of our plot.
And to be honest, I think that was actually the best I've ever described a series.
Okay, all right.
Normally, when I try to describe a series, it comes off sounding horrible.
Got it. Well, I'm glad we recorded it this time.
Yeah, there's actual proof that I can describe something well.
All right. I'm gonna let you stay on top of that one. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to get to that one, but I'm definitely curious to hear from you how it goes as long as you continue watching it.
Oh, I will. It's 24 episodes actually, so it's gonna be going into next season as well.
Okay. And I know you mentioned slime, so we're gonna talk about slime because there's been an interesting update in slime. I just want to throw in there that Fist of the Blue Sky, which again is just the prequel to Fist of the North Star, is at first it was kind of like okay, whatever, it's cool, whatever, but now it's officially just gone into full Fist of the North Star. So they're just kind of just reiterating Fist of the North Star's story.
So people started exploding?
Yeah, people started exploding. It's like Kenshiro has a brother. It's like, this is just like the original. So it's kind of like playing it safe, I feel, by just doing the same thing over again. If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah. So
it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of like, oh, man.
I've seen this already.
Yeah, and it was animated better, too. And this was in the 80s. And, like I said, it's that CG stuff. By the way, interesting note. I was speaking to a coworker. I think this was after Thanksgiving, and I saw Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Okay.
We came back from Thanksgiving, and I was telling her that, I went out to see Wreck-It Ralph, and I'm just kind of sad that Disney, and like it's DreamWorks too, they're not making hand-drawn cartoons or movies anymore. Like, the cartoons are just going by the wayside. Like, I can't even remember now when's the last time we had a cartoon animated movie from like Disney or DreamWorks or any of these guys. And she goes, oh, that's because it looks like shit when it's on your 4K TV. And I was like, oh, fair. And that's why I was like, now I get it. And it's true. I guess when you get all those old, like, Cinderella or Snow White, and you're looking at them in, like, super HD, where you can see the pores on a person's skin now, and you're looking at these, like, they look super grainy, and it's not the prettiest. So she explained it like that, and then it dawned on me. And now I understand why series like Fist of the Blue Sky were done like that, or CG. Yeah. I don't like it, but it might be the way that we're trending.
It probably wouldn't be so bad if, like, anime companies didn't make the CG look so horrible.
Yeah, it looks clunky and clumsy.
Yeah.
I keep referring to the Berserk example.
I mean, I think that's the go-to.
Yeah, just beat them up.
I mean, the movies were okay. The series, though, I've seen so many bad examples of CG usage in that show that I've basically avoided it.
Yeah, it's not fun. And I mean, and what's funny is that, we talk about the bad CG in shows like Berserk and Fist of the Blue Sky, but then you go to Kimono Friends, and that's just god-awful. It looks like N64 PS1 graphics, but it was successful.
Yeah.
It blew up like crazy, because even if the animation was ass, the characters, and I guess even somewhat the story, were strong enough to make you be like, okay, I can ignore this CG. Mm-hmm. And it kind of, all the other elements of the show kind of carried it.
Yeah.
So you were able to kind of ignore the CG and just be like, well, this show's pretty good. I'm heads deep into Kimono Friends. I'm waiting for the Shoebill Nendoroid to come out, so...
Well, I have an SO for
that. Yeah, I was looking at that too. I think by the time I might be jacking that by the end of this episode. But anyways, no.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I think what might have helped with that was the bad CG.
Yeah.
People might have heard about how horrible it was and said, let me check this out. And then stuck around because the story and characters made up for it.
And I think they were actually airing at the same time, Kimono Friends and Berserk. I think it was like Berserk's second season.
I think so, yeah.
And everyone was saying, why is Berserk so potato and Kimono Friends is like French fries? So it's still potato, but it's a better tasting potato.
Yeah.
So it was, and with someone who has a history like Berserk, you wouldn't imagine that this looks the way it does and is the way it is. But like I said, Kimono Friends just found that magic. And everybody was in on it too, the voice actresses, they were all in it, and the music composers were all in it. It was really well done. And yeah, by the way, if you haven't seen Kimono Friends, go check it out. It came out last year. But
did you hear about I guess how the production team that did Castlevania wants to do a Berserk series?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
because they also said, I'm just really about the Devil May Cry thing. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't remember if they had already signed off on the Devil May Cry series.
I think I heard
that they did?
They did.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. I'll have to look.
Yeah, for sure. Because we couldn't remember either. I was talking about this too on Friday night. Today, by the way, is Sunday, December 9th.
Yep.
So on Friday night, I was talking about this with some other friends, and we couldn't remember if Devil May Cry was signed off on or not. And then someone else mentioned, oh yeah, they want to do Berserk, and I was like, oh dear God.
I hope the Devil May Cry one has been signed off on, because I would definitely watch that. I mean, I watched the original anime,
Yeah.
and while it was not 100%,
Yeah.
like what I would expect from a Devil May Cry series, it was still kind of enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, for being original, like, fanfic stories set in the Devil May Cry universe, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I stopped, I think, on episode 3 or whatnot, so at some point, especially with 5 coming out, I definitely got to go back and at least watch those OVAs. You know, it's like 9 episodes left. It wasn't that long of a show.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, when I was watching, they were doing the Monster of the Week formula.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at some point, I'm just going to go knock those out in preparation for 5. So about the Castlevania thing, I know that everyone gives it such high praise, Castlevania on Netflix, and to be honest, I saw the first season, I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't a big fan of it. I felt that them trying to make Trevor this edgelord, snarky, sarcastic, it grated me. It felt like they lost the element of the character, and, they were like, oh, he's in opposition of the church, and I'm like... But in the very beginning of Castlevania 3 for the NES, he's praying in front of a cross. And then, he gets up and does an epic turn and throws his cape behind him. So, to automatically, right out the gate, ignore the story and make him be like, oh, he's in opposition of the church. No, he wasn't. The game didn't have dialogue. Remember, this was, 1990. So there was no dialogue or anything. It just, you had to do it through what you saw on the screen. And on the screen was him praying in front of the cross. And then he does his epic turnaround. So that symbolism doesn't lead me to believe he had any conflict with the church. But, for their original story, that's how they portrayed it. And I'm like, all right. And then it just kind of went downhill from there about how they made him all cynical and all that versus how he was already, in ass-kicking mode in the NES version. And, again, too, when he came across, like, Sypha and Alucard and Grant, they all like, hey, we should partner up, and this is the game, of course, and they're like, yes, you said yes, they join your party, you shake hands. It was a handshake. There was no, like, I gotta fight you to defeat you to join. It was, like I said, there was a lot of things I felt were just missing the element of Castlevania, and let alone Castlevania 3, and it got traded in this effort to make it snarky and more like today's modern society. And I was like, but it wasn't today's modern society. This was like in the 1490s, if I remember correctly. And I was like, what, 600 years ago? It was like, they weren't all snarky, sarcastic assholes like that. And I get it. You're doing it because you want to make a quick joke. But sometimes that works against what is the setting or the original setting. And so I just kind of had issues with all of that. But the final 15 minutes of the last episode of the whole show saved it. When Alucard showed up and it went full Symphony of the Night, then I became interested. Then I was like, okay, at least they know how to do this shit. And, as I don't know if I said this in the last episode, but Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all time. Like, of all time. The 30 plus years of video games that we have in history, Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all time, period. I haven't gotten the PS4 version, and when I do, I'm going to stream it. I'll probably put a link on the Anime Mystics page if anybody wants to watch my shitty stream of Symphony of the Night. But, I've run through that game so many times. I always get excited when they announce it on GDQ. I'm always like, oh, I'm watching it. I don't care. I clear out everything, and I set time to watch Symphony of the Night, and I love Symphony of the Night to death. And when Castlevania Netflix did those throwbacks, and Alucard is doing his teleportation skill, which is emulated from Dracula's teleportation skill, I was really like, okay, they got it. And another note too, even in the show when Trevor rescues Sypha, that's actually how it was in the game too. That Cyclops fight, the Cyclops with the sledgehammer, that was actually how it was in Castlevania 3 as well. You have to beat the Cyclops. After the Cyclops, you meet Sypha. So I give them props on that too. That was a nice throwback to the game. So it's not that they don't know the game. Clearly they do.
You just didn't like the direction they took.
Yeah, and the way they conducted themselves, it just kind of grated me. But and if you watch Angry Video Game Nerd James Rolfe, he actually did a review too, where he also was kind of, we're on the same page with this, where we both were like, it's Castlevania, but it's not Castlevania. And I don't want to seem like I'm fondling his balls either, because he and we have a disagreement. even though we agree on Castlevania Netflix, he thinks Super Castlevania 4 is the best Castlevania.
Right.
And I think Symphony of the Night is the best Castlevania.
Right.
And, you know, we're different because I like Symphony of the Night because of the exploration gameplay, the music, the characters. And he likes Super Castlevania because he likes that side-scrolling whip formula. So we have fundamental differences on which we think is the best Castlevania, but we're on the same page when it comes to the Netflix animated series. Regardless, I do want to watch second season because I do want to see how this carries out. Some people have tried to tell me, oh, well, if you didn't like season 1, you won't like season 2. And I'm like, you're probably right, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, I think the last 15 minutes got me curious enough.
To at least check it out.
Yeah, to keep it going. You know, I wouldn't say that even Alucard is my favorite like character of all time. He's a great fucking character. He's super interesting. But, I don't know, I wouldn't really say he's, like, the best Castlevania character ever. I don't know. I'm a Soma Cruz guy myself. Go play RAF, sorry. But, yeah. I don't know. And so that's why I'm also kind of... And then he goes, oh, yeah, I want to do Devil May Cry. And then the dude cosplayed Dante when he made his announcement. I was like, oh, God, douchebag. So, I was like, all right, you know... Actually, and then we lost that, huh? We lost my giant rant on Devil May Cry and Dante.
We did.
Jesus Christ. I don't think I could ever emulate that ever again. I mean, we'll talk about that later, because I do have... we're going to talk about Devil May Cry 5 later on in this podcast. Right. Again, I remind you guys, brace yourselves. This is going to be a long episode.
Yeah. At least 3.
Yeah.
Instead of the 2.
So, you know, I will... I'm curious. You know, I will at least check out any media, more or less, for Devil May Cry.
Right.
I will give him a shot. And, you know, I won't come in. I won't hold what he does with Castlevania. I won't hold it against him. Even though I heard that in the article he wants to set them in the same universe.
What?
Castlevania and Devil May Cry? His animated versions will be set in the same universe. Even though they're clearly not the same companies or anything.
Yeah, because one's Konami.
Yeah, one's Konami, one's Capcom. Yeah.
Yeah.
In his animated universe, Devil May Cry and Castlevania will be set in the same thing.
We might as well just do Mario then and put them in there.
Fuck it, let's go. Let's go. Oh man, and then Devil May Cry 5, he dies, and then we become Nier Automata. We just come full circle. Oh man, and then on the other side of the world, when Devil May Cry is Bayonetta, she's over there doing her thing in Europe. So, and then she goes to Castlevania, Dracula's Castle. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass right now. But yeah, no, he said he wanted to do that, and it's like that. Like I said, that kind of has me worried because I'm afraid now if he's gonna try to make Dante into Trevor, and it's all like,
well, first, which Devil May Cry is he talking about?
I think it's probably going to be one. Because it wasn't young Dante.
He wants to do the Capcom version, not the Ninja Theory version?
Yeah, no, he's definitely doing the Capcom version.
Good, that's good then.
But it's, like I said, it's not the shirtless Devil May Cry 3 version. It's the more like Devil May Cry 1, where he's a little bit more mature.
Right.
So he's not quite old man yet, but yeah, he's definitely not the young, brash one.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm a little bit concerned because if he's making Trevor into such a brash, cocky douchebag, and which are all elements of Dante, I'm more so concerned that all he's going to want to do is make Dante sarcastic and schmarmy and ignore Dante's like capabilities. You know, Dante talks shit to throw you off your game, and then he whoops you. So he's trying to get under your skin as a way to kind of get you to beat yourself, and that's how he does. But
so a Deadpool Spider-Man.
Yeah, more or less.
I said that last time too.
Yeah, right. And that's why I kind of like enjoyed that about him, you know. And to their credit too, most of the people, the bosses and whatnot that Capcom made to go against Dante, they don't always fall victim to that. They're just more like there was a meme too that, you know, it's like the original Capcom Devil May Cry, and he's all like, "Oh man, look at you! You're such a great swordsman. Well, guess I'll have to kick your ass." And the demon swordsman's like, "Oh, you're the legendary son of Dante. You may think you're better than me now, but we'll have our duel and we'll settle it." He's like, "Yeah, whatever. Let's go." And then they had Ninja Theories or Dante, and it was all like, "F you, f you, f you, f you," and you can just see that it was lost. It was completely lost. The magic that made Dante just wasn't
there.
It wasn't there. No, they kind of got infatuated with one element of Dante, which was his shit talking, and then they built the character around that. When it's really the shit talking is just to complement his fighting skills. You know, he's incredibly capable, and because he's capable, he's brash. Not that he's brash because he's capable. So, in other words, if you were to remove the shit talking, Dante would still be a badass.
Yeah.
So, versus in Ninja Theory's version, he's just talking shit the whole time. And they just were like, yeah, look at me. It's not like I have daddy issues. So, you know, that's kind of what it is. But like I said, all things considered, I will definitely interested. So we'll see what he'll do for that. And like I said, we'll loop back around to more Devil May Cry when we get to the video games section. So,
okay.
You ready to talk about slime?
Yeah, let's talk
about slime.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Roman. So remember what I said? I think I definitely said this on the first episode that I wasn't really feeling slime.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I still was like, I'm willing to change, you know, if you give me a reason to change. So was it this week's episode? I think it was last week's episode technically. We met the ogres. We kind of met them in the previous episode, but they were all angry.
Yeah, he was fighting with them because they thought that he was a Majin that caught the orcs to attack their village and basically wipe them all out.
Yes. And we kind of were like, okay, all right, well...
Oh, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen these episodes.
Yes, spoilers. So I'm giving you this nice break right now to pause or skip ahead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he fought them 2 weeks ago, and then last week they all came to the village, and we met some of the ogre grills.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
The two of them.
Yes. Shion, I don't know what the shit she does, and then the princess.
Yeah.
And so I was all like, wait, we have ogre waifus now?
Well, the only thing I know of with Shion is she has that huge greatsword. Because they show her in the opening.
Yes.
Using the greatsword.
Yes, and then apparently she becomes an office lady.
Which, hey, that's fine with me.
Which is absolutely okay with me. And then I was all like...
lady ogres?
Yes. Yeah, right. and so I was like, whoa, hold on, go on, tell me more. And so then after Rimuru gives them their name, Shion, and then I forgot the princess's name, they all of a sudden become all BG, you know, all pretty and shit. And I was like, whoa. All right, all that other shit. Tell me more about the ogre grills. Let's go about the ogre grills. Yeah. So ogre grills have just saved slime. Now, at first you had my attention. Or, you know, first you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. I'm getting my meme up. So, I'm in it now to know more about ogre grills. I'm declaring it right here on this podcast. Now you have my interest. Tell me more about these ogre grills. Y'all tried to get me with those goblin grills, and it was like, It
was close.
Yeah. But,
nearly got him.
Sorry, but Goblin Slayer was just there enough to kind of keep me on the straight path. But then ogre grills came in.
Can't trust these ogres.
Yeah,
I mean, not ogres, these goblins.
Yeah, I can't trust. But now the ogre grills came in, and I think they saved the whole show for me. So I'm interested and curious to see what's up with all of them now. Especially since they've always been highlighting them in the opening and the ending.
Yeah,
so it's
they seem
all
to be a big part of it with the amount of attention they get in the opening.
And I actually went and I was looking at like all the picture sites like Pixiv and they were even in New Type magazine in Japan. The princess and Shion.
Huh.
Yeah. See if I can find it real quick. But yeah, no. Apparently, I haven't read the manga, or is it a light novel or just a manga?
I think it's a manga as well.
Okay.
It's got both.
Okay.
Just like Goblin Slayer and Konosuba. And...
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read any of them, so I don't know how big they are in that regard. But when I was looking them up, and I'm trying to pull it up on my phone right now, so please bear with me. I pulled up Rimuru, and then instead I got Rimururu from Naya Samurai Showdown. Yeah, like I said, I was like really, really, really like, okay.
Like, all right, let's keep up with this.
Yeah, so...
I do want to bring up one of the guys, though.
What's up?
I thought the middle-aged looking ogre was pretty funny. He walked into the tent and he's like, just looks like a middle-aged man.
Was he like the blacksmith or something?
Yeah, he was the really tall one that looked really mean.
Yeah.
That one just turned into like a
Yeah, the
40-year-old man.
the most normal looking one. All right, here I'm just gonna show you. So there you go. So that's from Official New Type Magazine. So that's always the listing and where you can watch the show and all that. And then there you go. And there's a Rimuru.
Why does he got to be in between them?
Because it's convenient censoring.
It's not convenient for me.
No, right? But yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to get that.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, you heard it here first, everyone. Ogre Grills saved Reincarnated as a slime. I really wasn't feeling it. Now I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna see where we go from here, and hopefully I don't regret my decision. my interest doesn't get wavered. But yeah, I do want to say I know a lot of people have like this 3-episode, 4-episode rule for anime that if you're not really digging it by the 3rd or 4th episode, I know a lot of people recommend dropping it.
I think that should only apply to like 12-episode anime.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is a 24-episode one, so at least 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I would say. But I think we're on episode 10 now.
Yeah,
and you're just now like, I'm on board.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It took 10 episodes to get here, and I don't know. I think people always have their own different levels of tolerance. Some people will take longer, some people will take shorter. But I don't know. I always am like, I'm just gonna tough it out. I'm gonna tough it out, and in this case, it paid off because now I'm interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time I just kind of suck it up. Even when it's a shitty series, I just finish it.
Just to finish it?
Just to finish it, just to get it done.
That way nobody can say, well, you didn't really give it a chance. I watched the whole thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, I had someone trying to argue with me on a post I made about how Goblin Slayer is not a harem anime, and I was like, are you kidding me? Because it doesn't have an official tag, you're telling me that these 7 bitches all after his jock, it doesn't make it a harem anime? Are you kidding me? Do you just label Sword Art Online a fantasy video game anime?
You mean it's not?
Yeah, right?
Well, I mean, come on. We got Priestess, we got Cowgirl, we got Elf, we got Guild Girl, Sword Maiden now. Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
You got them all?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, it's not a harem show. I'm like, you need to watch more anime.
You're not really familiar with the harem genre, are you?
Yeah, no, just because Anime News Network doesn't put it as harem, you just automatically, that's not a harem.
He doesn't have to be living with these girls in order for it to be a harem.
Right.
He's just got to have multiple girls after.
Right, there you go. I know. You want to be, you want to keep the edginess and the coolness about. No, it's all about violence and rape and goblin rape. And it's like, no, that was like 3 episodes, bro. Maybe one more in the future.
I am interested to see how the latest chapters turn out, though. You read the last one, right?
I haven't.
No.
And when I was reading the manga, I actually stopped on the Watertown.
Well, I know you posted some images from it, though.
Yes.
From the last chapter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about that scenario.
That
okay.
scenario.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just because Witch seems to be kind of helping her out a bit.
Yeah, it's cheating.
Sorceress. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I definitely need to get caught up. I need to just take a moment to just sit down and read the Goblin Slayer manga and get caught up again. Just because I feel like it was good. It was really good. And I know that there's a lot of parts that the anime removed. Mm-hmm. I don't know, either to consolidate it for animation purposes or what, but yeah, I definitely feel like I need to get caught up on the manga at some point. So that'll be coming down the pipe.
And when did you say was the last chapter you read? When they were leaving Watertown?
When they were in the Watertown.
Oh, when they were in Watertown?
Well, yeah, when they were in the Watertown, I remember the goblins on the ship, and then that's about where I stopped.
Okay.
So I like how they're not too far ahead of where I was, so I feel that I'm not missing on a whole lot, and especially if they're going back to the Goblin Lord, I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Goblin Lord arc, even though it's only going to technically be 2 episodes. Can you call that an arc?
No. That unless it's like an hour-long episode or something.
Because I read somewhere that episode 11 was going to be the recap episode.
So maybe it'll be 13.
That the next week was going to be a recap, and then episode 11 wouldn't air until after.
Got it. Okay.
But I don't know. I'll find out next week when they air the episode.
Yeah.
Which would suck, because why? Do we really need the recap? It's been 10 episodes.
Right.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to get back in 2 weeks and see what happens.
Yeah.
So, all right. The only other thing I got here was I was just kind of watching this today, and I saw that the Kakegurui preview came up for the second season, and they're introducing the new girl. Funny enough, I don't know how I did this, but I started buying the Kakegurui mangas from Amazon, and I have volumes 1 and 2, and then I jumped to 5 and 6, and I don't know what happened to 3 and 4. So I decided not to read 5 and 6 until I go back and get 3 and 4, but in a nutshell, Kakegurui is the gambling anime, and...
So kaiji with girls.
Yes. It does have dudes in it, but obviously they're not the main attraction.
Right.
So
nobody cares about them.
Yeah, no, they can kick rocks. They just lose their money. And it's all about gambling and making Igo faces, apparently.
That works.
That's nothing wrong with that. So I just like it that it's creative and all the different games that they come up with to play. And then they all go through these ridiculous shonen jump maneuvers on how to win. You know, it's all like logic and reality just doesn't apply.
I'm going to use my secret technique and I'm going to get this one card that I need.
Exactly. Or I'm going to
heart of the cards.
Yeah, exactly. Literally what it is. And then if Yami Yugi made a Nahigo face, there you go. That'd be Kakegurui.
Yeah.
So,
I still need to watch that.
Yeah. And I think they made the live action too. And I think the live action is on Netflix. Both the anime and the live action are both on Netflix.
Really?
And I always said that I wanted to watch the live action. So maybe someday I'll get there. Okay. I do definitely want to watch it though.
See how accurate they are with their faces?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I think live actions, are really starting to get better. You know, because I saw JoJo and Ace Attorney.
I think they're starting to learn that if you follow the actual story that they set...
They tend to be good.
Into it?
Tend to be better.
Yeah, instead of trying to go their own way.
Yeah, trying to make original.
Like I heard... my cousin watched the Attack on Titan live action, and they watched the anime, but they're like, the live action is horrible. Yeah. Like, it's nothing like the anime. They like changed the whole thing. The only thing that's the same is there's Titans, and they're in the was it Survey Corps? What is the name of that thing they're in?
Yeah, that unit thing.
Yeah,
the military guys.
Sorry, I can't remember. I haven't watched this new season, so I don't remember.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you were losing me with the live action movie when I saw the Zoe character with the grenade or rocket launcher. I was like, what? What? So I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I think the last good live action anime movie I saw was Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh yeah.
The first one. I haven't seen the other two.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I saw the first one at Fanime.
Wow.
When that was airing there.
I need to go watch those. I haven't seen any of them. I call my nickname is Sanosuke-sama. I haven't even seen any of the live action. I heard they're amazing. You know,
I can vouch for the first one. Okay. The other two, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I heard they're pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on my list. And then there's the Bleach live action too.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard it was okay.
That's what I heard too. Which I guess is a good thing because it could have been like Attack on Titan where everyone's just like, yeah, it's ass.
Or Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh.
Which actually I did read an article. The writer for that said he just did it for the money.
At least it's honest. You know, you can't. Honestly, you can't be mad at that.
No.
He's all like, you know what? I didn't care. Suck it, Dragon Ball fans.
Yeah.
So,
he's like, I'll just write this crappy script and give it to them, and I'll just take my paycheck and
that's funny. Oh man, we have Chow Yun Fat. What are we gonna do with him? Nothing. Get paid.
Although he did apologize to Dragon Ball fans for what he did. So.
Aww, so you shouldn't have apologized. I wouldn't have apologized. I just would have been like, yeah, I did it for the money, whatever. I don't care. And then just like jump into my Lamborghini and drive off. Or jump into my jet and fly away.
Lamborghini. With the amount of money that thing made, he's lucky if you can get like a Volvo.
Alright, I would jump into my Prius and drive away. So.
Oh my god.
Man, that's funny. Well, we'll have to come back to that then. I'll have to watch the Kenshin movies. We'll come back to that topic.
But anyway, we were on Kakegurui.
Yes. Yes, go watch it. Gambling anime. And there's been a lot of cosplays coming out of that too. It's pretty fantastic. I know a couple of my friends have cosplayed from it too. So
okay,
I recommend it. It came out. I believe that was also a show from last year.
Was it last year?
I believe so.
It's already been that long. Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's last fall. I believe. So definitely go check that out. And
I know there are a couple of second seasons coming out next anime season.
I don't know when's my time's coming out. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know what's coming out next year. The only thing I know is the Fate Grand Order anime. And I don't even know what season it is. They've been pretty tight-lipped about it ever since they announced it over the summer. Still don't know when's it coming out. We just know it's coming out.
Okay.
So, and I have it written down to touch on that later on when we discuss Fate more in detail, but that's honestly the only thing I'm looking forward to.
The Fate Grand Order?
Yeah. Well, they have a movie, an OVA, and an anime all coming out next year.
Okay.
So you're going to get the Fate overload.
I could probably watch that because it doesn't exactly tie in with the rest of the series.
Right.
So I don't think I'd be spoiled too much if I decided to watch it. It's not like they're going to ruin Unlimited Blade Works for me.
Yeah,
or anything like that.
Yeah, correct.
So I might add that whenever they announce when it's going to be released. I might add that to my watch list.
Sure.
But as far as second seasons, I know they have one that I'm looking forward to, Piano no Mori.
Good.
That second season for that is coming out. There was another one that was just okay, but I got to watch it because I finished the first season. But I can't remember the name of it. It was it came out the same season as what was the name of that anime with the office girl and the dude that were
Wotakoi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Came out the same season as that.
Okay.
That's got a second season coming out. Bang Dream's got a second season coming out.
Wotakoi has a second season?
No, not that one.
Oh, so I was about to get excited.
It was an anime that came out the same season as Wotakoi.
Okay.
But not that one.
Okay.
I wish it did, because I really enjoyed that one.
Man.
But I think the one I'm most looking forward to is Bang Dream. I'm looking forward to that one. Because now they're bringing in all the other bands.
Okay.
The first season was just the main band, Poppin' Party. But now they're bringing in Afterglow, Rosalia, Pastel Palettes, and Hello Happy World.
Are you going to go full circle and watch the show while playing the game? Just bring it all together?
Bang Dream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I finished the first season like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
While still playing the game. I remember because when I released the first episode, I had a comment from somebody because I was talking about the game.
Yeah.
Like, I play the game and I already like the characters, so I know I'm going to like the series. And the guy's calling me a corporate shill in the comments and how they're paying me to watch the show.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, well, actually, the way he put it was, I'm paying them to watch the show.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, why would I pay them to watch this?
Man, I wish it worked like that. That'd be fantastic. I wish Capcom would give me money for hyping the fuck out of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry, or Devil May Cry and Capcom, hit me up.
Yeah. Like, I would not complain if Bushiroad said, we'll pay you to watch Bang Dream.
Oh, yeah, you like Bang Dream? Let's talk. Yeah, hook it up, man. I'll start playing Bang Dream. FGO, get out the way. Bang Dream, let's go.
In fact, I remember the lead singer to Afterglow was in a few memes.
Oh, jeez.
I forget how long ago. I don't know if I'm not going to say accidentally. Somebody probably saw her character and did this on purpose. But she became like the unofficial mascot to Hentai Haven.
Oh, boy.
Because her t-shirt kind of looks like the symbol for Hentai Haven.
Okay.
So they just started putting her in images with it and started changing her shirt to have double H's.
Oh my god.
And I didn't know who she was at the time. I'm just like, who's this character? And now I'm playing, I'm like, oh my god, I know you. I recognize you from the memes.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's funny.
So yeah, she became like the unofficial mascot for a while.
Nice.
I haven't seen her in anything recently, so I'm assuming people put a stop to that.
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure I could pull up a photo of her and you might recognize her.
Okay.
If you want to go on about something while I look this up.
I mean, let me see, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, Zombieland Saga. Zombieland Saga apparently is just still going strong. If you haven't seen Zombieland Saga, by all means, please go watch it and recognize Saki is best girl. Yugiri is second best girl. But yeah, I would love that to be a mobile game too. If that was a rhythm game, that'd be fantastic. And I love how they made that the main character Sakura from Zombieland Saga getting hit by the truck from the opening of the show is becoming a meme. I'm going to talk about the VGAs in a little bit when we get to the video game portion. Oh man, that sucks. I'm looking at this Bang Dream character. Yeah, that's Hentai Haven, man. I like the hair though. It's a really cute design. That's really nice.
Yeah, they just took the guitar out and added double H's to her shirt, and that was it. She was the unofficial mascot.
that poor girl, doomed.
Okay,
so wait, does that make you a corporate shill for Bang Dream and Bushiroad or for Hentai Haven?
I'll take either.
when they say dirty money, they literally mean it. Yeah. You don't know where that money's been. Phrasing. But anywho, yeah, Zombieland Saga, go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's getting better, it's getting good, and it's wrapping up too. And you get auto-tuned apparently when you get hit by lightning.
Really?
Now you gotta watch the show to see what that means.
Yeah, I do. I'll probably watch it once it's finished though, so I can just
zerg it through, yeah.
Like if I do really get into it, I could be like, I'm just gonna watch the next episode right now instead of wait the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I need to check it out anyway. I heard they did a serious episode recently too.
The last two episodes. I haven't seen this past week's, so let's say 2 weeks ago. The last two episodes were pretty serious. This most recent episode, I think, went back to kind of the zaniness. I haven't seen it yet, and I meant to watch it before this podcast, but yeah, I think it went back to just being zany, off the wall stuff. So. I'm looking forward to it. I gotta get caught up. But yeah, it's still good. It's still great. And like I said, as terrible as Sakura getting hit by a truck is, damn, it's a funny meme.
I did see a meme for that recently.
I just posted one before this podcast.
I remember seeing, I don't know if it was the one you posted, because I remember seeing, I think, earlier today. Okay. Where somebody's yelling at the back of a bus, and the bus driver turns... Oh, so the guy says, keep your eyes on the road, and the bus driver turns around and says, don't make me come back there or something, and she's walking in front of the bus as he's saying that.
Okay. I can explain that, but that actually would segue into the video game portion of it, so I'm just gonna check in with you real quick. Are we good with anime? Are we good with the anime portion?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Okay, so with what you were saying, we will now wrap up the anime portion. For those of you that enjoyed the anime portion, I also want to take this moment to say interesting notes that some of you guys reported that there's not a whole lot of anime podcasts, and I wanted to say very interesting. And so if you guys are sticking around for the anime parts and the anime reviews and whatnot of this podcast, good, thank you, and good. Mm-hmm. Thanks for that tidbit. We'll keep trying to give you guys content and whatnot.
I remember bringing up in the Lost episode
yeah.
that there was only one other one on YouTube.
Okay.
I also checked iTunes. Oh, by the way, we're on iTunes now.
Woohoo!
So just be sure to, if you want to keep up with us, go on to iTunes and subscribe, and all of the new episodes will be uploaded when they're ready to go.
Awesome.
There was only one other podcast as well for anime.
Interesting.
So including us, that makes 3.
Okay. Well, alrighty then.
So if anybody else wants to do one, we'd like to hear your podcast.
Yeah, totally. Let's collab. And again, comment, recommendations, advice, suggestions,
or if you'd like to hear our opinions on certain things dealing with anime.
Yes, definitely.
Bring that up too.
Definitely. Just fire away in the comments.
One thing I did want to bring up first.
Yeah.
I did read recently in an article
that
the Japanese anime market hit a record high last year in sales.
Interesting.
Had an 8.1% increase.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they're actually not doing so bad. No. I know a lot of people are saying, oh well, all this, the pirating and all that is ruining the anime industry, but they're getting an increase.
You know what's funny is that people say that, and then they're all like, well, the money you give to Crunchyroll and all those and Funimation, that goes to the anime studios. And then there's a bunch of people that come out there like, you're stupid. Now, I don't know which side is correct. I've never done research into that. I can't tell you who's right and who's wrong. All I can tell you is that anyone that knows me, Roman, other friends of mine, other people, they know that I don't buy anime. Like, I don't buy DVDs, I don't buy Blu-rays. I prefer to buy merch. I prefer to buy Nendos, I buy Nesoberries, I buy video games, art books, wall scrolls, collector's editions of video games. That's where I put my money to. I just because I feel that the DVDs just don't have replay value for me. Because typically I've already seen the show before, so I don't want to, go back and watch it again. Once is pretty much good for me. Right. I watch it once, one and done. And so to have it on a physical medium, it really doesn't do anything for me. I feel that that's not a good way to spend my money. I'd rather go get a piece of merchandise. Mm-hmm. And I view those as conversation starters. Like when you have an Android or something like that, a statue or figurine.
Somebody sees it, be like, "Oh, you like this series?"
Yeah, exactly. And then the conversation goes from there.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, dude, I love Skasahal. You play FGO." It's like, yeah, and then you go from there. It's a good conversation builder or entry. So
yeah.
That's why I prefer to have the merch. It's not like, "Oh, you have that DVD? Yeah, you want to watch it?" It's like, "Oh no," because I'm just watching the same thing over again. It's not the moment's not special. There's no surprise. You already know what's going to happen.
Right.
So, but with a conversation piece like a figurine or something, I feel that that's a better investment.
Right.
So, am I surprised it's risen by 8%? Not at all. Do people need to stop beating each other up on who's getting the money from all this? Probably. But to their defense, to the naysayers, the people that say this money doesn't go to animation studios, I will say they got some credibility when Crunchyroll made that show, that Star Force or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, look at our preview, and it's just talking about diversity instead of the show itself.
Yeah.
That makes me raise an eyebrow. It's like, is this really what you guys are doing with your money?
Well.
And the show doesn't even look that good. That's what's killing it right now.
Well, I know you said you buy merch. As you can see, I buy merch.
Yes.
But I also buy anime DVDs and Blu-rays. Like, I have the Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon collector's edition over there. The Squid Girl. It has seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I just bought the Sword Oratoria collector's edition. Because for me, I can still rewatch a series if I really enjoy it. Like, The Devil is a Part-Timer. I've watched that series at least 8 times.
I haven't even seen it once.
Well. Squid Girl, or Ikamusume, however you want to say it. I watched that at least 10 times. Because I love those shows. So, even though, like I know for you said it's not, the surprise is not there anymore, the special,
the magic
first time watch is not there. As long as I enjoy the show and I still know I'm going to get a laugh or something or like that, I'll rewatch it. Like One Piece, for those who don't know, me and my cousin are reacting to One Piece. Technically my 3rd time viewing it.
It could be your guys' first time. Watch Roman's videos.
Yeah.
Go check those out.
And for those who might not realize this, when we first started the show, my our reaction channel, it was actually supposed to be me rewatching the show and giving like our reviews at the end of 2nd time or 3rd time viewing to let you know if it had a like rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
And then Belle, my cousin, would give the 1st time viewer review on what they thought of it.
Got it.
So I know it confused a lot of people because I would be watching, be like, "Oh, I've already seen it," and they'd be like, "Oh, well, why am I even going to watch this?" Because he's already seen it. But Belle hasn't, so you're going to get the 1st time viewing from her, and then we do the review. I'm giving you whether this is rewatchable.
Right.
That was the whole point of the reaction channel to begin with.
So it's like 2 perspectives.
Yeah.
The first time watcher and the rewatcher, basically.
Yeah. to kind of let you know, you can rewatch this and you're not going to lose anything. Yeah. Or, the rewatching of it is not as good as the first time, so maybe just watch it the once.
Right.
Well, Bell will give you man, this was amazing and for a first-time viewing and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Or, I didn't enjoy it at all. But for anybody who started watching our reaction channel and, like, in the beginning, and were wondering why I was rewatching shows, that was the whole point. Which is why I'm bringing up the DVDs. I do rewatch them a lot. Because I do like to rewatch a show every once in a while. Especially if it's been a long time since I've actually seen it. Just be like, let me check this out again.
Well, there you go. That's two perspectives right there.
Yeah.
one who buys the DVDs and one who just focuses on merch.
Yeah, although I do buy merch too.
Yeah, totally.
And in fact, all of this stuff you see on my bed, I didn't actually buy. I won all that from that Toriba Crane Game app.
Wow.
But it still probably would have spent less if I actually bought them.
Fair enough.
Anyway. Oh yeah, we're not sponsored by Toriba either. So
Toriba, please sponsor us. Just kidding.
Anyway, let's get to the video game stuff like we were planning on.
Okay, so you were mentioning about the bus hitting Sakura from Zombieland Saga and the guys turning around. So
yeah,
that was actually from the VGAs.
Okay.
And the guy that's driving the bus was actually Ninja, that famous Fortnite player.
Yeah,
he's a streamer, and he's got the funky sky blue hair and all that. Mm-hmm. And so that was, I believe, from the opening. And if you do you know Fortnite or much about Fortnite?
I know it's basically PUBG.
Okay. You're 70% of the way there. So, basically, like, when you start the game and all of that, and you know how you get dropped off and all that, it's basically you get dropped off from a flying bus.
Yeah.
So that's why the joke is Ninja is driving the flying bus that everyone's getting dropped off on. And then, I actually haven't seen the segment. I put this together on my own. So if someone's going to correct me probably in comments about what happened, by all means, I'm actually interested. And maybe we should watch that clip on what happened. But anyways... Ninja was driving the bus from Fortnite, and then they just photoshopped in Sakura from Zombieland Saga, and so Ninja ran over Sakura from Zombieland Saga. What a so it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, even though I'm gonna rant and rave about Fortnite pretty soon. But for what it was, I know that Ninja gets a lot of shit for having the personality of a cardboard. But he's good at the game, and he is kind of like now the face of Fortnite, and it was pretty cool of him to be involved like that. So I will give credit and props when that was due. That was really cool of him to do. And with that leads into the VGAs themselves,
which I just want to bring up. I didn't actually watch.
I got there at like 20 or 30 minutes in, so I didn't watch from the beginning. Because I wasn't planning on it initially. And I started watching the stream because they said they were going to do video game like debuts. Like world debuts. And that's the only reason why I started watching. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even cared.
Right.
So, I started to watch it, and it was all Red Dead Redemption Fest.
Oh.
It became Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption. And
I kind of feel like a game that came out a month or two ago, like what was it, last month or this month?
Last month, yeah.
Like 2 months before the end of the year, shouldn't even count for Game of the Year or anything like that.
Well, that's fair. That's fair
because it hasn't been out that long.
That's actually, I think that it's funny you mentioned that because I think they said something like that similar to the Oscars. Because they said that a movie that comes out like a month or two before the Oscar nominations, like the cutoff, is unfair because that's the only thing people are thinking about.
Yeah.
So, which is fair because, by the way, if you haven't seen the VGAs and you're that hardcore about it, we will be discussing this even more so and in depth. So that I guess it's a spoiler potentially. So anyhow, moving on.
We are going to talk about winners and stuff like that. So
and what happened that last night.
If you would actually want to watch the stream first because they have it on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
You can go watch that first and then come back and listen.
Yeah, there you go.
That way we're not spoiling winners for you.
Yeah, if you're that hardcore.
Surprises that might have happened during the airing.
Yeah.
But that's all going to be discussed.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, they said that that's the same concern, too. And what was funny was that Red Dead Redemption was just sweeping everything. It was just sweeping, like, story. The guy that voiced the main character, Arthur Morgan, he won voice actor.
I saw that, yeah.
So, you know, they were just sweeping left and right. And then they were like, at the end, Game of the Year is God of War! So it was like combo breaker. And so it was like, it felt like they were, they didn't want to seem biased. But really, let's be honest about what happened. All the way up until the VGAs that night, they were all like, they got their Fallout 76 shit. They got their big, we love Bethesda, giant we hard Bethesda sign. They're like, yeah, bring in the power armor. Bring it. Come on, forward. Yes, more Pit Boys. We need Pit Boys over there.
I'll take a Pit Boy.
And then the shit happened.
Yeah.
And then the giant, you want to say Fallout. The Fallout happened. And they were like, oh, fuck, get rid of that power armor. Take it back. Bring in the cowboys. We need more hats. Spurs. We need spurs and belts. The horses. Bring them in here. More guitars. Bring in the guitars. Yes, cowboys. You didn't see anything about Fallout that night. They didn't even breathe Bethesda. And a friend on Friday night, he pointed out that when they were talking about the new game, they were like, from the makers of Fallout New Vegas, because they didn't even want to reference Fallout 76. And they dodged it like Matrix, like Neo in the Matrix. Like it was a bullet, and he was like, whoosh. They didn't even breathe Fallout. All those power armors were replaced with cowboys like that. And it was hilarious. I want to also put the disclaimer out that I hold no ill will towards Fallout 76 or Bethesda. It's just not my kind of a game. I'm pretty simplistic.
I haven't even played it yet.
Man, so, they just can't get it right, dude.
I mean, from all the glitches and everything that I've heard about with that game.
Man, and the bag debacle.
Oh, might as well bring this up now since I did bring it up in the last episode that we didn't get to release.
Yes.
I usually wait about 6 months to a year before I buy a Fallout game.
Fair.
Because usually they are filled with glitches.
Yes.
So, you might want to start following that, people.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb.
Because, usually it's got all the glitches, then they start bringing out all of the patches,
the updates. Yes.
Fixing it.
Yes.
And then you get a good game.
Yes. And that's what's gotten them into hot water, is that they have that reputation.
Yeah.
That when the game launches, it's just a mess. Mm-hmm. And it's like the idea is, well, when you release your game, it shouldn't be a mess.
It shouldn't. No.
When by the time the consumers get the game, it should be good to go as soon as you put it into your console or load it up on your PC. It's like, boom, jump in and go. It shouldn't be falling through the floor, or I get kicked out of the game, or whatever, or the enemy is not doing anything.
Yeah, that should be taken care of in testing.
Right. But what do? They did the beta, like, a couple of days before the game launched? So it was like not even a beta where you can fix anything, because the game's already printed.
Yeah.
It's already on disc. There's nothing to change. What's the beta going to do? Well, the beta gave them, what was it, a system update that was bigger than the game file itself. So it's like, what are you doing? I don't even know. And it was crazy. I've been following this as much as I can. I've been watching video. I said this on the Lost episode, but I was like, oh man, I want to keep doing more research and watching podcasts. And so I have. I've been watching some videos on YouTube about the Fallout 76 and from different people, all sorts of different people and their experiences.
Yeah.
My brother also bought the game, and he's been talking about how his game just crashes on him. And I was like, I didn't think that was a real thing. I thought that was just an exaggeration. It's like, no, it's actually happening.
And Fallout 3 would do that for me sometimes.
Were you on PC or console?
No, it was a console.
You are, wow.
And it would still like freeze my game, crash.
Man.
Which is weird because I bought that like a year or so after it was released. I had no intention of buying a Fallout game.
Right.
But I bought Dragon Age.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, if you like Dragon Age, you might like this game.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and I was like, all right, let me try it out. And I really liked it. But then, like, towards the end of the game, because my save file kept getting so large, because every time you save, it just adds more and more and more to it, it started lagging, and then it would just freeze, or then it would just stop playing it, like, completely. Yeah. That was Fallout 3! And now it's still doing that? You think they would learn their lesson?
Yeah, and that was almost like, 10 years ago now? Fallout 3. Wow.
Something like that?
Wow. And it's like, even when you escape the gameplay, the customer service with them, with the bags, them offering one style of a bag and then giving another one away, and then when they get called out on it, they're all like, oh, well, they were too expensive to make, so we gave you these shitty knockoff ones. And here's 500 in-game currency, which, by the way, they, like I said, I've watched some people talk about it, and they're right. In-game currency costs them nothing, because it's currency that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's not dollars in your wallet or dollars in your bank account. It's just digital currency that they own, so they can just give it out willy-nilly. That doesn't fix the bag that you paid for that you didn't get.
No, but for some people, they don't know any better, and they're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And they just go with that.
Yeah. And what made it even worse is now they said they're going to start offering people the bags that they were advertised, because there was an impending lawsuit. So they were about to get sued, and so then they were like, okay, all right, we'll give you the bags. But now, in an even other scummier move too, they're saying if you took that 500 in-game currency, you may not be eligible for a bag. Because if you took the handout, that was the end of the deal. That was your trade-off. So you may not get your bag, potentially. I don't think that they're going to do that, but what's been going on, anything is possible.
I mean, if they do that, they're going to lose a lot of customers.
Right. I mean, like I said, look at the silence at the VGAs. The utter silence that they did right now. And it was crazy. Because they had the hype, they had the momentum, they had everything going for them until the game, not even the game came out, until the beta. When the beta came out, people started raising eyebrows and asking questions. And then the game actually came out, and everyone just kind of lost their minds.
Should have just stuck with Fallout 4 this year.
Yeah, right. And what's funny, too, is that someone tagged me in a meme a couple days ago where they actually did the two, where they did Fallout 76 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and it was all like bugs, game crashes, it was like something with the NPCs, but only Fallout 76 had an angry face, and Red Dead Redemption 2 had a happy face.
Oh, I saw that today, too.
So, and it's not wrong. Right. It's not wrong, but the thing about it was that Red Dead Redemption 2 just had, more redeeming factors. It wasn't an incomplete game because it still had a story, because it had NPCs you can interact with and all that, and I believe the multiplayer mode just went up a week ago or so.
Oh, did it?
I believe so. For Red Dead 2, yeah. So it was more complete. So that was the only safety net it gave itself. Rockstar gave themselves. So, and I'm not gonna lie. If I had the opportunity to, if I can make some time, I would like to play Red Dead 2.
I would need to play the first one.
Oh yeah,
I haven't played that either.
And they had now they have the whole game plus the zombies and.
They got zombies in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, we're talking about the first one, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember seeing the images with the zombies.
Yeah, it was was it Undead Redemption?
Yeah, something like that.
So it was pretty interesting. And it's actually its own standalone game. It's not as long as the real game is, but it's pretty much the same game world, except now it's like zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Because in 2010 everything was zombies.
So just Call of Duty, but with cowboys.
Pretty much. Grand Theft Auto with cowboys and zombies.
Yeah. Okay.
We've done cowboys and aliens, so now we're doing cowboys and zombies.
Yeah. What did I say? Oh, Call of Duty because they have a lot of zombies.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's very interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on this story as it unfolds. We might come back to this at the next podcast, but I believe we did say too in the last episode that. If you have a Fallout 76 story, also comment. I'm down to hear about it. Like I said, I love drama. So whether you had a good experience, a bad experience, if you actually did like the game too, to defend the game, man. If you had fun, because this also kind of hits close to home too. Because I have said that I've had this experience as well. Because there are people out there that legit like Fallout 76, and they're defending it as best as they can. And it's like the 300 Spartans versus the Persian army. In this case, the Persian army being all the people talking shit, and the Spartan 300s are the people that are just trying to play Fallout 76 and enjoy it.
Just waiting for that one guy to come up from the back to ruin everything.
Right? Todd Howard, he's going to come out like, we fucked it up, guys. And then that's the fall of Sparta.
Yeah.
But, no, and, I just did this with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I liked Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I defended the game. I still do defend the game.
I think it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, you are not alone. I think I'm alone here. There's only a handful of us that enjoyed the game, and I stick by it. It was fun. It was fun. It was a great idea. I would have loved to see them continue to work on it, and it was for what it was too. It was not Capcom's fault. Capcom actually put out a decent product. Yeah. Even though their hands and feet were tied and bound, they did their best. It wasn't Capcom who said we can't use X-Men characters. It wasn't Capcom who said you have to use a gem system. It wasn't Capcom that said make the characters look like All of that came from the Marvel Disney side. And you can find articles on that. Again, take most of it with a grain of salt. Some of it sounds kind of preposterous. In the case of the character models looking bad, they claim that Disney went to the Marvel or the Capcom offices and said, we want the Marvel side to look prettier and better than the Capcom side, which is why, Iron Man looks all, shiny and Captain America looks buff as Thor looks all epic, but then you look at like Ryu and Chun-Li and they look jacked. Like their faces look jacked. I mean, it definitely improved by the finished product, but the damage was done, it seems like, in the face of the public.
I mean, at least Dante still look cool.
Dante will always look cool. But I like I said, I'm in the same boat. I know that feeling when you're defending a game and everyone's just all over it. So I get where the Fallout 76 guys are coming from. I just have no dog in that fight. I'm not a Fallout guy, not a Bethesda guy. I'm not an open world game guy, which is why I said that I'm in no rush to play a game like Red Dead 2. Yeah. If I had a chance to, I would do it, but I probably wouldn't beat it. I'd probably put in like maybe 15, 20 hours and call it a day, like I do with every other Grand Theft Auto. But like I said, I feel with those people that are defending a game that a majority of the people don't like, because it sucks. You're trying to tell people, be like, come on, let's have fun, let's play it and enjoy it. And they're all like, nah, dude, that sucks. And it's like, how does it suck? And you just hear the same excuses over and over and over again. And it's like, all right. And then you counter those excuses. And then they're like, all right. And then, nothing changes. No one changes their mind. Everyone's bitter. And everyone's pretty much picked their side. And no one wants to change their mind. So you're like, all right.
Although in the case of Fallout 76, they're pretty valid reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. And with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, it seems that they pulled the plug. And I want to believe that they did it because not too long after the game came out, Disney and Fox started their negotiations. Yeah. And so I think that at best, we're probably going to see a reboot of the game entirely with the X-Men characters everyone's bitching and whining about, and Deadpool. So I think that rumor has a little weight to it, because again, Disney Marvel undermined the whole game. Yeah. They were watching like overlords over Capcom's back to micromanage that whole game. So I think they killed it because of that, because that wasn't their focus. So
yeah, I mean, if they couldn't use certain characters, fine. Yeah. But let Capcom do their thing.
Right. Yeah.
They know what they're doing. Totally. Look at what they did with 3.
Yeah, I agree.
3 was good.
3 was
really good.
3 was good.
Just let them repeat it.
Yeah. Hopefully the game comes back like the Phoenix. Get it?
Yeah.
So I hope so.
That was a Phoenix Wright reference for those who weren't paying attention. No. No, I'm kidding.
But bringing it all back, actually, I wrote down here about Ultimate Alliance 3, which is a Switch exclusive. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That was like one of the first game debuts they did, which is why, again, I started watching the VGAs. So it's a Switch exclusive, and of course they start off with all the Avengers, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. And then they show us Wolverine and the Sentinels, and I was like, all right, so we like the X-Men again? I guess we like the X-Men again because Wolverine's here, but why the Sentinels? Where's Magneto? Like, when you think of like the main X-Men villains, I mean, Sentinels are pretty big, but I figured they would have used Magneto. I'm not saying that he's not going to be in the game. I'm just like, weird choice. So it's kind of like just telling me that the X-Men now are just an afterthought. Like they're just like they just wanted them because they didn't want Fox to get all the money.
Right.
And now that they have them, they're just kind of like, whatever, throw them in the toy chest. So it's kind of like that's the feeling that I'm getting from it. But, even then, like I said, it was one small scene with Wolverine just kind of standing there with his claws out. And then the Sentinels show up. And then immediately back to the Avengers. And, Spider-Man got more screen time than Wolverine and the Sentinels did.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. If they have the X-Men and they're happy to have the X-Men back, then just, showcase them. Because, it's hard-pressed to find anyone that doesn't like the X-Men.
Right.
And I'm not...
At least one character from the X-Men.
Right, yeah.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. And I want to also do another disclaimer that I'm also not a massive X-Men fanboy or X-Men fanboy.
No, I'm not either.
But I still respect them. I respect them for what they do.
I mean, I like them, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a huge fan.
Right, yeah. The live-action movies definitely didn't help their case. But anyhow...
Well, the first one was good.
Yeah.
Second one was really good. Third one... No.
Good use of San Francisco in the third one.
Yeah. And then I haven't really watched any of the rebooted ones.
Oh, yeah.
I just try to... I've just avoided them since then.
Fair. Well, hopefully now, they're all back under the same umbrella. Hopefully they'll make good use of them.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly if I'm going to probably play the game. I actually did like Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. I actually had pretty good memories with those games.
I like 2. That was the only one I played.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. So it concerns me that it's a Switch exclusive. That's kind of like, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I can find it used or it goes for $20 down the road.
Switch needs some exclusives.
Yeah, it does.
I mean,
it really does.
Other than Mario games, it needs something.
Smash.
I mean, you got
We'll get to Smash.
We'll get to Smash in a bit.
But yeah, so we'll see. We'll hopefully we wish them luck for Ultimate Alliance 3. Shockingly, I told you guys I was coming back to Devil May Cry. So I was concerned on the VGAs when they were like, live performance of Devil Trigger. I was like, oh boy. So at E3, during the Xbox conference, Devil May Cry 5 debuts, and they're using, I believe it's Nero's Battle theme, Devil Trigger, which has now become just the theme song for Devil May Cry 5. And they actually made an official music. First off, the song itself is available on iTunes. You can go download the song for the whole song. They have an official music video for Devil Trigger, and I watched it, and I was like, "This is not good." the guy and the lady singing, they looked kind of, for lack of a better term, on drugs.
Oh,
it wasn't their best, and so I was like, the song's great. I don't like the music video though. They don't look too good. But I was apprehensive about the whole thing, and I was like, all right, but like I said, my love for Devil May Cry runs eternal. I don't think Devil May Cry and Dante could ever do any wrong as long as it's not made in England. Keep it in Japan. But they came out, they started it up, and it was actually not that bad. The singers actually looked pretty cool and presentable. The band was pretty on it. I actually liked it. I thought that performance was damn good. I feel like listening to Devil Trigger right now.
Did they at least cosplay?
No, they didn't. They just came out and did their thing. That would have been fantastic. I would have marked the fuck out.
You think for the VGAs they would have told them cosplay as the characters.
Right. Because when the lady that did Pauline for Super Mario Odyssey,
right?
I think it was Kate Higgins, I think, because she was the original English voice actress for Saber in Fate Stay Night.
Okay.
The shitty Fate Stay Night.
Yeah.
That was her. And so she did Pauline, and she sang, Jump Up Superstar. And so she came out and sang that last year's VGAs, and she wore a red dress like Pauline does. So, yes, pretty much cosplay.
Yeah.
So, they didn't do that. They came out, they just sang Devil Trigger, they just did their thing, and they all looked like they're, still caught up in the Limp Bizkit,
New
what you
metal.
call it? Yeah. Green Day, black on black, tank tops and all that kind of thing. So,
okay.
They haven't let go of the 90s. Whatever. Devil Trigger is still a great fucking song. And yeah, it's still catchy and all that. We got another trailer, I believe, from the VGA still hyping up Devil May Cry 5. And I want to go on record by saying I am more hyped for Devil May Cry 5 than Kingdom Hearts 3. I think Hikaru Utada should just sing Devil Trigger. Kingdom Hearts 3, just sing Devil Trigger will be okay. So, Hiki, please do it. Please do it. Hikaru Utada, please sing Devil Trigger. Yeah. And I saw, too, they also announced the other collector's edition that's not a $10,000 leather jacket, and it comes with a model replica of the Devil May Cry van. And that one's only like $10 more. Really? So really, I mean, why not? I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I'm pre-ordering that one. So, and then it comes with other stuff too, like I think an alternate skin for Nera's cyber arm or whatever. So it's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I'm hyped.
Cool.
My hype is immeasurable. Please don't fuck up that Netflix series. You'll break my heart. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dante in Smash.
Oh well, with who was just announced.
So
it's a good segue, by the way.
Smash came out on Friday, and I downloaded it, and I've played it a little bit, and it's Smash. But you're telling me Joker is in Smash?
Mm-hmm.
So
all you Batman fans out there.
Yeah, right? So
no.
Am I honestly surprised? No. I think that after everyone's initial, like, oh my god, everyone was just kind of like, yeah. Especially since last week was also when Dancing All Night came out. Oh, Persona 5 Dancing Moonlight and the Persona 3 Dancing Starlight. Or I could get those swapped. But yeah, they both came out too. So it was like Persona on like Tuesday and then Smash on Friday. And so, you know, it was all timed. I don't think intentionally, but it was timed. And I mean, Persona PQ2, the little dungeon game that's coming out on 3DS, that's coming out, and that has P5 on it, and that's already coming out on 3DS. So Persona 5 technically is on a Nintendo console already. Yeah. So it's not super far-fetched that Atlas was talking to Nintendo, and they were like, yeah, you know what'd be funny? Let's put Joker in Smash. So it's fine. I'm not mad. I'm not opposed to it. It's f***ed about Waluigi.
Oh, God. I don't know if you posted it. The meme where Waluigi's walking with his invitation and Joker is taking it.
Yes. I posted, that was on Friday.
Yeah.
So Waluigi's so happy he's got his invite. He's walking over and then Joker that kid just reaches down and snatches it right out of his hand. I will say I will play conspiracy theorist and mention that Waluigi I don't think is an assist trophy now.
No?
Oh, I wonder why.
Maybe DLC.
Yeah, and they did say now that the DLC, the season pass that they have coming out, are all new characters. So
nobody from previous games.
No one from previous games. But they didn't emphasize that it's all from non-Nintendo franchises.
Okay.
Yeah, properties.
So could be anybody.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo just trolls the shit out of everybody, and it's like 4 people that are not Waluigi, and then on the 5th one is Waluigi. I honestly don't see why not. You know, they've killed just about every meme and everything, and I know you guys are still trolling them by saying Goku for Smash. And so Nintendo once again reiterated they will never, ever, never, ever put anime or manga characters in Smash.
So that does not just include Goku. That is everybody.
So you'll not get Guts from Berserk in Smash. I'm sorry.
You mean we're not going to see him disembowel anybody?
No, not anytime soon. No,
not even Ridley.
No, I know. I want Kenshiro in Smash too. But yeah, they said no manga or anime, and I mean, honestly, that's because they would be paying royalties for like ever.
Yeah.
So Shonen Jump would be getting that check every week. So, you know, I understand. Money. Yeah. And Nintendo don't want to pay nothing. Nintendo never drops the price of their games. So Nintendo doesn't pay anybody.
I'll see a game from like 3 years ago, still $60. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. What are you doing, Nintendo? I know they're the only games of yours that really sell.
Yep.
But I want to buy it, and I don't want to spend $60 on a 3-year-old game.
Yep. Exactly. And so, yeah. It's cool. I think that Futaba will be the assist trophy. I can see just Futaba zoning, zipping around on Necronomicon and just blasting everything.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
Man, after because I saw it on Facebook, the reveal.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's this? Because I haven't played any Persona game.
Oh, really?
None. So I don't know who any of these people are.
Got it.
But I see a lot of Joker. Like, I see a lot of images. I've heard people talk about him.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so Persona 5. So I was like, let me see some reaction videos. If you want to see some people who are, like, probably overreacting,
yeah,
watch a reaction video for a Smash reveal.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are jumping up and down. They're, like, slamming their chairs on the ground. They're screaming. I'm like, really? Really, guys?
So I made that post when I was mocking them. And I was all like, I'm throwing my cat across the room and ramming my head through the wall, like, Smash! And it's like, it's the most super casual for casuals games.
Yeah.
It's like super not serious. And people are so serious that they disable half the game just to have fun with it. I was all like, what? You don't go in there and be like, let's play Street Fighter. Oh yeah, no fireballs. No one does. You don't do that in any other fighting game. That's why it's not even a fighting game. Sakurai said it himself, competitive action game. And I'm saying this as someone that legitimately likes Smash. I enjoy Smash. I do. That's why I buy them all.
It's one of the only reasons I ever still get a Nintendo system.
Yeah, right? They're fun. They are fun. Nintendo still knows how to make fun games. I'm not going to take that away from them. But for people that just try to take it serious and try to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to be the next Daigo. Not on Smash. No. You'll probably be good. You might win EVO. You might win your local or regional tournaments. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But to be all like, do you deserve to be on the same stage as Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or, you know, even DBZ Fighters and Cross Tag, BlazBlue Cross Tag? No.
Speaking of Dragon Ball Fighters,
yeah,
that one best fighting game.
Fighting game of the year. Yep. And am I surprised? Absolutely not. Anytime they rolled that game out, it got super excitement, super hype, because, you know, they're DBZ fans.
I'm a DBZ fan, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's complete like fan service for anyone that's a DBZ fan. I grew out of it long time ago, and you know, but I mean, obviously the game is still a lot of cherished memories for a lot of people, and even I can admit its arc system works.
Yeah.
They very, very rarely, if ever, make a bad product.
Well, I mean, look at the track record.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear, BlazBlue,
Persona. And Cross Tag with Ruby.
Yeah. Cross Tag. They got a lot of what do you call it?
Experience.
Their fans trust them.
Yeah.
They know they're going to bring a good product.
Yes.
And again, I'm a Dragon Ball fan, so when I heard it won game of the fighting game of the year, I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
But that's about as big of a reaction as you're going to get from me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it sold like crazy. I think it got the most views at EVO. That's why it was the second to last game of the night.
Yeah.
You're never going to not end with Street Fighter, because Street Fighter is the king. It's the legend.
That's everybody wants to see Street Fighter.
Yeah. It's history. You're never gonna not do Street Fighter at the end of the show, but to still get like the runner up, you know, the second to the last, the game that leads into Street Fighter, that's still pretty solid.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't that normally fall for Tekken?
Tekken was done earlier in the day, because I believe it actually went Tekken, Smash, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter.
Tekken was under Smash?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has it fallen that much, or?
Quite the opposite. It's actually gaining traction. Tekken is actually coming up. You saw that too, right? About Negan from The Walking Dead is in there now.
Yeah, I was kind of...
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by that, but I was also kind of like, oh, this could be interesting.
So apparently Tekken and Smash are just running a race right now to see who's the best Mugen game. To just put in whatever they feel like.
Well, I think Smash has them beat right now.
Smash kind of has the edge, but to Smash's detriment, they don't have Geese Howard. So I'm saying Tekken is still pretty cool right now.
Yeah.
I love King of Fighters, I love Fatal Fury, and I love Geese Howard. He's such a good villain. I love him. And he's more of a weeb than any of us ever will be.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's such a weeb. He constructed a giant-ass pagoda in the middle of an American city.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fucking... And it's, you know, I can... Oh, my God. This might be a separate rant about how awesome Geese Howard is. I'm going to have to do a King of Fighters podcast with you, or an episode one day with you. But in a nutshell, yes. That's why I thought it was hilarious when Tekken announced Geese Howard, and then they announced Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
And I was all like, in the Fatal Fury lore, after Terry Bogard beat Geese Howard for the second time, Geese Howard ended up falling off the like top of his pagoda. He like fell to his death, quote unquote. That was not true.
Yeah, well, they never die.
They never die. And so that's what I said. I was all like, who's this motherfucker gonna do? He's gonna come up here, we're gonna throw him over the edge of the pagoda. That's how we do shit in Southtown, man. You're the prince. Get the fuck out of here. Welcome to Southtown. So, I love Geese Howard. But like I said, it was still pretty rad that they still got, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Geese Howard, and then they got Noctis, Final Fantasy, Negan from Walking Dead. So it's still pretty cool. And I can't recall if they were finished with... I think that was the whole season pass. Because then it was also Anna Williams coming back and Lei Wu Long. But I could have sworn that there was one or two characters that were unannounced for Tekken, for their season pass.
Wasn't Armored King one of them?
Oh yeah, Armored King, yeah. Armored King and Marduk? No, Marduk was all...
Wasn't he? I thought I saw him.
Then what probably was then?
Probably, I think it was him.
Okay. Then that is the whole season pass.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, that's pretty cool. Same thing, and when I say people that are beating up people. So when they did the Smash reveal too, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. As much of a tool as Joker is, you're telling me now that I can go in there and whoop Joker with Richter Belmont? Sign me the f*** up. We just went over this where Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all time, and Rondo of Blood was the prologue to Symphony of the Night. So,
yeah,
let's go. And Nintendo, as soon as you make that Richter and Simon Belmont amiibos, Nindos, they're pretty much Nindos, right? Amiibos, you got my pre-order right there. That's a day one pre-order. So, and then I was like, yeah, so that means they're gonna make a Joker amiibo too, and it's like, I guess so. All right,
you have to get that one.
Yeah, I probably will.
Got to go with the collection, right?
Yeah, I would prefer a Yusuke, but oh well. So, what's funny, too, about Joker as a character was Joker, and so I don't know English voice actors, again, if I didn't make this clear from the first episode, the first podcast. Joker is voiced by Jun Fukuyama, and, that's like Dark Flame Master from Chunibyo, Lelouch. Yeah. I know you guys are already yelling, Lelouch, yes, Lelouch. By the way, that's another show coming out next year, Code Geass Season 3.
Yeah.
So that one's also on my radar.
I still got to finish Season 1 and 2.
Yes. To that. Well, you're going to hear a lot of Jun Fukuyama.
Okay.
But after Chunibyo, he seemed to have fallen off the face of the planet. He vanished, and it was like, well, where did Jun Fukuyama go? He was in Black Butler, in Code Geass. He was in Sengoku Basara. All these things. He was here and there, and then he just poof. And then he comes back as Joker for Persona 5, and it's like, what the f***?
Well, didn't they have a Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions movie last year or something?
Did they?
I thought they did. I remember seeing something about that. Or is it coming out soon?
I have no idea. I know Season 1, Season 2. If they're doing more Chuni, I would love to know.
Because I'm pretty sure they're doing a movie.
Oh, man. If they're doing a movie, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch the out of that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I have the main girl over there.
So. Oh, Rika?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll definitely be watching it.
Funny. Yeah, no, I'm glad to see him getting more work and all that. He was a good voice actor, and I still haven't beat Persona 5. Everyone is telling me you're right there, dude. Just go beat it. I was like, I know, but FGO keeps chaining events. They're just really big assholes right now. We'll get into Fate in a little bit, but for the most part, yeah. I'm glad that Jun Fukuyama is in there. Yeah. Speaking of FGO, what killed me too was they were like, mobile game of the year. And I messaged my Fate Grand Order group. I was like, hey, watch Fire Emblem win mobile game of the year. And Fire Emblem won the Google Play Store award. Yeah. It won last year. It was the mobile game of the year from Google Play.
Wow.
So I was all like, really? And I think FGO did get runner up or third place or something. But it caught me off guard that I was like, really, Fire Emblem? And I was like, yeah, I guess. because there's Fire Emblem in America since Awakening had a huge following.
Yeah.
There was already a decent amount of people that played Fire Emblem, but when Awakening came out, it just boom blew up. And so I was all like watching the VGAs, and I was like, oh, watch, Fire Emblem's gonna win. Fire Emblem and FGO didn't even get a nomination. It didn't even get mentioned.
No.
It was like they said PUBG and Fortnite. I was like, what the f-? What? And then they gave the mobile game of the year to Fortnite. I was all like, that doesn't even make sense. That's a PC game that you're playing on your phone.
Did they?
It's actually cross-compatible.
I got it written down. Wait, you're talking about the VGAs, right?
Yeah, the VGAs.
I wrote down a game called Florence.
No, that one, indie game of the year. Mobile game. Mobile.
Yeah, that's what I got it down for.
No, Fortnite.
And best independent game.
Yeah, best indie game was Florence.
Let me see this.
Yeah, check it out.
Because I still got it up here.
Oh, nice. Good call.
Let me see. Best mobile game, right?
Yeah.
Florence.
Oh, wow.
The nominees were Donut Country, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG, and Reign's Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
But Florence ended up winning.
Okay, well...
At least according to the Game Award website. I'm pretty sure they're not wrong.
Yep, you are correct.
So...
My rage is misplaced.
Okay.
Instead, let me do another rant then on the spot. Indie games suck balls.
Most of them.
Yeah. I have this long-standing stereotype, personally, that 95% of indie games are ass. And yes, your precious Undertale is in there as the ass category. I don't know, man. Indie games just don't appeal to me.
No.
Most of them are just terrible. And most of them are just trying to be like Nintendo NES 8-bit games, and it's like, I'd rather just go play an NES 8-bit game. I respect that you guys love your childhood memories and all that. That's fair. I do the same thing. But they're just not good. They're just not good. And I'm just like, nah, yeah, I know, I'm a corporate sellout. I'll just go play whatever Capcom puts in front of me. True. And I'll admit that. I'm not wrong. But
yeah,
the thing is...
to your FGO.
Yeah, right? Oh, man, you should have seen the early build of FGO, man. That game was terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty bad 3 years ago. I'm glad that FGO USA did what it did, and we started where we started. Okay. I have nothing but respect for what I call the Japanese pioneers, the guys that played like the 1.0 build and all that. But anywho, we'll get to that later. Yeah, no, I'm glad now that you pointed out that Fortnite didn't win, and so that's good. But it's like, remove the stone of shame. Woohoo! Replace it with the stone of victory. Don't! That's kind of what it feels like now. It's all like, remove the stone of Fortnite. Woohoo! Replace it with the stone of shitty indie game. Don't! And I know this might generate a bunch of comments of people saying like, oh, Florence wasn't that bad. You're probably right, but it's an indie game, so I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I think those are the only two awards that one won.
Okay.
Mobile and independent game.
Yeah, and I saw them too. They looked like a bunch of guys that just don't know how to dress nice.
Oh, the guys that made it?
Yeah. When they were getting their award and all that, they looked like they were like, we have to go to some fancy place tonight, and they were just threw together clothes they thought looked nice. It's like, you guys couldn't go rent a suit or something? It's like, you guys clearly made enough money to get nominated for an award. You guys couldn't go to like Men's Warehouse or something and rent a suit?
Come on, that's too expensive.
Oh, yeah, they only make indie games. So it's like, oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. They looked like nerds.
Well, they probably are nerds.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No. I'm just saying that, have a little bit... When you're going to an award ceremony like that, like I said, I have a little bit of pride about that, Which is to say that Sonic Fox went up there with his, Well, he came in his jersey and his fursuit, and he won Esports Player of the Year, and he just came up just like he was at Evo. It was the same stuff he wore at Evo, and I was like, oh my god. So
well, people probably expect that from him, though.
Yeah, that's just his wardrobe. Yeah. So, but like you said, people expect that from him, but these other guys, they knew they should have, got dressed up. Unless they were trying to be a Sonic Fox.
Maybe.
So Sonic Fox again disregards the whole rules. He doesn't care. He's coming up, repping his team, his sponsor, and his fursona. But these other guys, yeah, like I said, they should have dressed a little bit nicer.
Let me see. What did I have here? Oh, best esports game was the only thing I looked up for esports.
What was the best esports game? Remind me.
Overwatch.
True. To Blizzard's credit, they throw a lot of money at Overwatch. They know what's up.
Yeah.
I saw the Overwatch World Cup and all that, and
during the BlizzCon.
Yeah, during BlizzCon.
I watched that too. That was really good. Actually, got me excited.
Oh yeah.
During some of those matches.
Yeah. Some of them was really good. Some of them were really, really good. I actually dipped out for grand finals because I didn't want to watch an all Asia grand finals.
Oh, China
versus Korea.
North Korea.
Yeah.
Or South Korea. I mean.
I was like, I don't care. It's like Korea's gonna win.
I was expecting China to put up a better fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, after they, God, who did they knock out of the? I think it was England that they beat.
I think so too. Yeah.
After they knocked out England, I was like, man, they're gonna give Korea probably a run for their money since Korea almost lost the one before that.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope. Korea's still the top team.
Yeah, Korea's a beast. They're just crazy. And what's funny about the whole thing is that if you watch the Overwatch League during the season, the Shanghai Dragons, the Chinese team,
oh, they did bad.
Terrible. Just absolutely bad. And then the China team comes into the Overwatch League, and it's like, where were these dudes at? You couldn't find them in China? They should have been your Chinese team. They should have been your Shanghai Dragons team. Look how good they're doing. What the hell happened?
Weren't a lot of the players on the World Cup team the same as the Dragons?
Yeah. And then in the Shanghai Dragons, though, they also brought in Korean players too, and so they had a huge language barrier. Some of them were speaking Chinese or like Mandarin and Cantonese, and then the other ones were trying to speak Korean, and they just never came to a consensus. Yeah. Because there are other teams that have international players, and they've made a system.
I'm pretty sure the whole Spitfire team is Korean, so they kind of went the right way with that.
Yeah,
let's just make the whole team a different nationality.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll just speak the same language. Won't have to worry about it.
Man. But yeah, now I was kind of watching their hype podcast or stream for the next season of Overwatch League, and now I think they have like 3 Chinese teams now.
Do they?
Yeah, and a Paris team now. Yeah.
Oh, so they're branching out.
Oh yeah, they're expanding.
More countries are like, we want to get in on this.
Yeah, and I think Atlanta is now a team as well, and I think Toronto now. Toronto is now a team.
Okay, Canada getting in there.
Mm-hmm.
The nicest team in the league.
Yeah. I'm pretty. Yeah, they'll shake everybody's hand and buy them a cup of coffee afterwards.
Sorry about using that ult on you.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh. That's a good one. The nicest team in the league. Oh man. Good call. So yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the players or anything like that. Otherwise, I would have wrote them down too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know any of these people.
For Esports Player of the Year, Jonak actually got a nomination too. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because when they were doing Esports Player of the Year last year, yeah, it was all like a bunch of Counter-Strike Go players, and it was like, what? Like, come on now. And it's like, I get it that internationally Counter-Strike is still pretty big, especially like in Europe and Russia and all of that.
Yeah.
It's massive. But in terms of like our region, not so much. It's really Overwatch. Overwatch is still big.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like I said, I have an issue with the FGC, even though I follow the FGC and all of that. And last year, we didn't get even one FGC guy nomination. But yet, they want to consider fighting games part of esports. But yet, none of the FGC players can get a nomination in there. It's like, even if they don't win, the nomination is all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, they still put in just as much time as the
Yeah, absolutely.
The other people.
Absolutely, you know.
Probably even more, because they got to keep up on their skill, learn new games. Like, I'm sure they change certain things from some games.
And they're flying them out everywhere. They're flying them to South America, too.
Yeah.
Korea, China, Japan. I don't really think they go to Europe a whole lot, even though Europe is also coming out. Like I said, dude was from England.
Yeah.
He won Street Fighter with M. Bison this year's EVO. Okay. So, props to him. Absolutely props to him. He did a damn good job. Excuse me. And so, yeah, and then was it Taiwan is also coming up too. So yeah, it's they're flying them all over the place. And so to kind of take that away from the guys that play the fighting games and all that, it's that's kind of whack. But like I said, they gave him the nomination to Tokido and Sonic Fox, and Sonic Fox won Player of the Year. Even though I don't really agree with that decision, I would have even given it to Jonak over Sonic Fox. Even though I was all like, we need more fighting game guys. Okay, give it to the Overwatch guy. Like I said, it's the nomination. I know, and people are going to be like, well, are we about fairness and all of that? And if these guys are winning more, when you're stacking tournaments and championships, these guys are winning more championships than it's like, yeah, but still, to be one-sided, it really would all be like what? League of Legends and Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Because those are just globally the number one played games. And so you say it's esports, but really only 2 games are represented.
Yeah.
When that's not esports. The umbrella of esports is more than just those. So
got to look at everything.
Right. And going back to the Sonic Fox issue, outside of him winning EVO, I don't know what else he accomplished this year. I didn't really hear or follow or post Evo know what he's been up to.
Right.
But I know that with Tokido, he got second place this year because he was the one in grand finals. Tokido's still been winning, and Tokido won Evo 2017, and so Tokido has still been putting in his work. Tokido, by the way, whatever. For those that know, those that don't know, he's Daigo's rival.
Okay.
They came up together. They were the 2 Ryu players. It was Daigo and Tokido, and they've gone back and forth. You can still, even to this day, like last year's EVO, I think they still fought. They still fought, and I believe Tokido put Daigo into losers. And when Street Fighter V had come out, Daigo had admitted Tokido has a better Ryu than me. Right. And then shortly after that, Daigo dropped Ryu and switched to Guile. And now Daigo has been finding more success. Same thing with Tokido. Tokido has dropped Ryu and gone to Akuma. And now it's gotten him to Grand Finals twice at EVO. So Tokido absolutely deserves the nomination for Esports Player of the Year. I would have liked to have seen him win, but that's just my bias.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But to see him and what he did and all he's accomplished, I think he definitely deserved it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Sonic Fox, he had my respect. He kind of lost it this year at EVO. But when that happened, I also said that, you know what, he did win, and no one can take that away from him. But I have a feeling that the FGC will always sort itself out. So when you do stuff like that, when you do what he did, put the target on your back.
Yeah.
And when people know that all I got to do to beat Sonic Fox is just make him take the other side, the side that he's not good at, people are going to challenge him now to that coin flip every time. They're like, all I got to do is put Sonic Fox on the 2-piece side, and I can beat him. It'll just throw him off his game. He won't be able to recover. And so they're going to challenge him to that coin flip to see who gets what side every time now. So, and it's even if they win or lose, they still have the mind game over Sonic Fox. So, I'm not going to... I do wish him the best. Yeah. If he can do it, I would like to see him prove me wrong and prove that it's not just him just, being like, oh, yeah, I got to be on that side. Because it's the same issue we had with Vineeth in the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Right.
He was all like, oh, I got to be on the 1-piece side. And it's just because it was his combo setup. He just always had to be on that side. And it's like, you got to be more than a gimmick.
It's like, you can jump over to that side.
Yeah, right.
Right?
But, it's... I don't know. Like I said, I'm also not on the super pro competitive level either, so I don't know what's going on in their heads.
Right.
I'm saying this completely as a spectator, and someone, in hindsight is 2020. You can say all this stuff post fact after it all happened, but it doesn't change what did happen. and he won Evo. He won Esports Player of the Year, but I think that now we move on and we can do better.
Yeah.
So I am curious now to see what next year, who they're going to nominate next year. I am glad that Ninja didn't fucking win. But then again, to be fair though, I'm not talking about that category. Ninja did win, I think, like Streamer of the Year, but he's not a tournament player.
Yeah, he did win Streamer.
Yeah, but he's not like playing in tournaments or Fortnite tournaments or anything like
right.
that. So that's completely different category, different thing.
I think what's that guy's name? Shadow Fox?
Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox.
Yes.
I'm kind of the same as him. I can't play on the 2P side. I suck. But I'm also not considered one of the best players.
Yeah.
I feel like if you are considered one of the best players, you should be able to take the handicap and still be able to win.
Correct.
So stop whining and just play.
Yeah, correct. Correct. It's what can we do? That was back in August. So like I said, I was like, I'm not going to follow up on it because it's Dragon Ball. This was only Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't care about Dragon Ball. I didn't want it to go down like that. It was so controversial. I felt like it undercut the whole thing, and we got some good memes out of it because the guy he was fighting, Goichi, had just these death eyes where he was just looking at Sonic Fox, like just stabbing him through his skull with his eye lasers, and it was great. But they have been going back and forth. I don't even know if they're still going. They're probably still going back and forth right now as we speak because they were like, for a long time, they were like the two best in the world. Right. So, we'll see. Only time will tell. We'll probably come back to this in a year from now. But in conclusion, wrapping up VGAs, the only thing that was really cool were just the announcements, really. The Devil May Cry 5 concert and Joker and Smash, I think, were the two huge takeaways from the VGAs. And everything else, like I said, I know everyone's like, well, what about Anthem? And I don't care. I just don't care, man. All that stuff is all the same, outer space, pew, 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 open world, open world, open world. I think we're now living in the era of open world. I liked Nier Automata. That was fantastic, because that was open world, but it was Devil May Cry. Yeah. So, Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, open world, sign me the f*** up. Absolutely sign me up.
I still need to finish that game.
Oh, so good.
Multiple times, apparently.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But yeah, that's kind of where I ended. So
okay, I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the VGAs, but then again, I haven't really played anything this year, so it's not like I had really much attachment to anything that could have won or lost. So the only game I knew going in, like that I had played, was Overwatch.
And would that win like longest running game or still running game, something like that?
Let me see. I think all it won was best esports.
Okay, because there was another category was like the still ongoing game or something, and it was like League and Overwatch. And...
Best ongoing game was Fortnite.
God damn it!
Basically, anything that Overwatch and Fortnite were competing against, Fortnite won, except for best esports.
Yeah, and that's fair. I didn't even know Fortnite had an esports. Were they even nominated for that category?
Well, let's look this up. It's a good thing about this. Esports game. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Best esports game. We had
Counter-Strike,
Go, Dota, Fortnite,
League,
and then Overwatch won. So yeah. So Fortnite was nominated.
I didn't even know there was a competitive Fortnite like that. Well, more you know. Yeah. Because, you look at the Overwatch and the Overwatch League and all that, and it has all the giant pomp and circumstance and lasers and confetti. So, there's production value to it. They have, 8 announcers, interpreters, translators. So there's a huge production crew to it. So to get the nomination and the win, absolutely. Absolutely, like I said, the FGC and esports, how they dress up the Mandalay Bay Arena, pretty cool. I like how they do the projections, like they show the characters like on the stage through the lights. I think that's pretty rad. It's pretty dope. Yeah, but cool. They are nowhere near like the Blizzard level. They don't have Blizzard's money.
No.
So hopefully someday though we'll see them. I know that Arc System Works actually said too at the end of Evo that they're also going to start doing their own World Tournament, because like Capcom does Capcom Pro Tour, and then Tekken started doing it with their World Tour. Now Arc System Works is going to start doing it too, and I believe they said the first stop was going to be in LA next year.
Okay.
And so they're going to do Dragon Ball, Guilty Gear, and Cross Tag, and I think Blaze Blue. Not sure about Blaze Blue, but there are 4 games.
They should do Blaze Blue.
They should, especially since they put out the update and all of that too.
Yeah.
So the Central Fiction and all that. So, yeah, they're going to start doing their own version of a Capcom Pro Tour. So, with the prize money and all that.
I know they make good games. I like the Guilty Gear and the Blaze Blue. I still have not played Dragon Ball. I don't have it.
Man, and that's a game made for you.
Yeah, it is.
You're probably going to play it, and you're probably going to put like 30 hours into it. And then they have the DLC packs now and all that. Like, was it Bardock and all of them?
Yeah, Bardock and I think
Freezer.
Yeah, Freezer.
Yeah, Cooler.
Frieza was in the game.
Frieza was in his Cooler.
Cooler.
Yeah, Cooler.
I think Brawly as well. I think they added him in.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brawly, I should have brought this up during the anime section because I wanted to rant about this.
So,
was the new Dragon Ball Super Brawly trailer that they released.
Okay.
It was trailer 5.
Okay.
Where they revealed that Gogeta was going to be in the movie. If you don't know, that is the fusion dance version of Goku and Vegeta fusing together.
Okay.
This is his first canon appearance in the series, because this movie is canon. Before that, he was a non-canon movie character, and he only appeared for like 5 minutes.
Got it.
But it had been speculated that he was going to be in the movie anyway, but I would have rather it been a surprise. Like, wait until the movie is out and let people actually see him come in. Don't make a 30-second trailer showing that he's in the movie. I mean, I'm still excited about it. And I'm still going to go watch the movie. But I was a little upset that they did that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but they show him go through all of his forms.
Wow.
Like, they show him in base, then they show him in Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan Blue, and then he does something else. And now I'm like, okay, well, you've shown me the transitions. If you would have made, like... Just don't do it. I didn't want to know until the movie came out. And... oh, God. It just made me so mad. But also excited, because I've since watched that trailer at least 100 times.
Maybe that was the intent.
And I wouldn't even have known if my cousin wouldn't have tagged me in the video, in like the video he posted on Facebook with the title saying Gogeta confirmed, and I was like, "Urgh! Why? Why did you do this?"
Doof.
It also didn't help that every time I went on YouTube and a reactor was watching it, they'd have an image of Gogeta. It's like, well, I guess I'll just have to watch it now.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. Okay, we can move on.
Well, I think that about wraps it up, at least for my ranting and raving about the VGAs. So, final thoughts on video game side?
Video game side? Let's see. I think I actually saw on Amazon that Final Fantasy VII is coming out at the end of this month. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out next month. When does Devil May Cry come out?
That's a good question. Is it May? Or in the summer, I think?
Yeah, we still have that long?
Yeah, it's not nowhere, and it's not anytime soon. Bear with me as I load it up.
But anyway, there's a lot of good games coming out soon when we get the release date for Devil May Cry. As far as the VGAs, again, I wasn't attached to anything that won or lost. I was just glad that one, I don't even know if it was nominated. Let me see this. Okay, yeah, good. It wasn't nominated. I'm glad Red Dead didn't win Game of the Year.
Oh.
That's it.
So two things. One, Devil May Cry 5 is coming out in March. It says here March 8th, according to Amazon.
Okay.
And the collector's edition was 150. I mistakenly said it was like 70 or whatever. But no, the deluxe edition is 70. The collector's, which has the van replica, is 150. And that's the one I'm going to get.
Okay.
So.
Is it just the van that it comes with?
No, it comes with a bunch of stuff. So,
like art book or
yeah, you know, the usual. So here you can check it out. There's a bumper sticker. I think it says like "I love Devil May Cry" or something.
Okay. Well, that's a cool case though.
Yeah. There's the art book.
There's the art book. Is that a sticker?
That's the book that the character V comes in with. He has like a book. That I think that's like "I love Devil May Cry" or something. Yeah. And then the poster, and then the van replica. Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah. I didn't miss much missing the VGAs.
No, it honestly, it looks almost like a lackluster year for video games next year. Unless I'm really missing some huge surprises.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I'm sure not everything has been announced.
Yeah, just slowly take my money. You know, I think what I've got Dead or Alive 6. And
oh yeah, I want to get that too.
Devil May Cry 5.
It's funny because I like a lot of fighting games, but I suck at all the fighting games.
Don't worry, me too. That's why I go to FGC events. I'd rather watch people good at the games play them.
Yeah. It's also why I avoid online play.
Oh, yeah.
Because once I do, I'm like, I'm discouraged. I don't want to play anymore. Why did I buy this stupid game?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
You don't have anything about FGO or anything?
All right, well, since you brought it up, we'll segue right into that. So, a little bit of background. The last time, on our Lost episode, I mentioned some Fate-related stuff and FGO and all of that. And I was discussing with Roman about potentially doing a Fate-based episode, or a huge chunk of time at least, regarding Fate. Yes. And Roman said that might be a good idea. And then we lost the episode.
Yeah, then we lost the episode.
So for today, for the rest of this segment, for the most part, I'm just going to dedicate this all to Fate stuff. So for those that are into Fate, welcome. We are excited to see you. For those of you that are not so much into Fate, well, thanks for listening up to this point. We hope to see you next time. Again, comment, responses, advice, suggestions, recommendations, any of that good stuff, throw them in there. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
I'll try to throw my 2 cents in every once in a while if I could find something to comment on.
Absolutely.
But you'll hear me making noises here and there.
Yeah, we'll prove.
Just to know that I'm still here.
We'll prove that Roman is still alive.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we go into the Fate segment. Let's do this. So, first off, I want to start with what I saw Friday night. So, Friday night, which would have been Saturday morning in Japan. I'm going to start, by the way, with FGO Japan. So, FGO USA players, please bear with me. I'm going to get into this. But for now, I just want to touch on what the future is going to hold.
Right.
So, for FGO Japan, they actually are currently in the middle of their traveling circus. And so, for those that don't know, FGO Japan, Fate Grand Order Japan, is doing an event where it's themed like a circus. You know, the circus comes into town, they set up their tent, they do their show, the performers all come out, everyone cheers. Then when the circus is done, they pack up and they leave to the next area. So, Fate Grand Order is doing that same concept. They're going to go to areas in Japan that they normally have not been to, or that don't normally get like conventions and cons and whatnot. And they're going to go and kind of, branch out to those areas and do some Fate-related events. And that's why the concept and the theme is a traveling circus. They come to town, they do an event, they pack up, they leave, they go to the next one. So
try to show some love to those areas that don't actually get a whole lot.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so it's pretty nice. And so they did their first event on Friday night for us, Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon for Japan, and they debuted the new Christmas event. So the new Christmas event is going to have Christmas Quetzalcoatl, and I'm excited.
Oh, is that those are the images you keep posting?
Yes, those are the images I keep posting. It's if Ho-Oh found Bowsette's crown and put it on, we get Christmas Lucoa. So I call Quetzalcoatl Lucoa. For those that have seen Dragon Maid, I love you. You guys are quality people.
Well,
but
I'll say this: she isn't built like Lucoa.
You know, a lot of people like to point that out to me, and I'm like, tomato. It doesn't. We'll talk about Quetzalcoatl later.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna touch on that. For now, I'm super excited. I love the design. Christmas Lucoa. And then her Noble Phantasm, her super ultimate over the top move was Regalo del Yucatan. I'm probably butchering the title, but it's completely in Spanish. And even though Quetzalcoatl Lucoa was a deity from, Aztec mythology, which is basically around the Mexico area, this time they're pretty much dressing her up as in she's from Brazil. And I'm already raising my eyebrows like, wait, we just moved so far south from Mexico and Central America. Now we're in fucking Brazil. So I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. They don't care, man. It's fake Grand Order. They don't give a flying But it's great. I love it. The animation is fantastic. Maybe I should actually share that in the group so everyone else can watch it too, and just laugh at how absurd it is. And her job class is ruler job class. So we'll get into it when we get into the Lost Belt parts about what is going on in Japan. But we just got a new servant that was a ruler class, and he was a 5-star. You had to pay for him, and now we're getting a free one, and it's a 4-star. So I'm kind of laughing, and I feel bad if anyone spent money on the more recent guy. But, at the same time, it's also I think he probably has better stats and whatnot.
Who's the guy?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to
that.
In the meantime, I'm over here fanboying over Christmas Lucoa.
I mean, she looks pretty cool from what I saw.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And I thought it was excellent timing because as we're doing the Babylonia story in America, where Lucoa debuts, in Japan, they're also getting a Lucoa, but it's a more, it's an alternate form. And it's a ruler, so it's the first welfare ruler job class that we're getting. So I'm hyped. I'm excited. The requirement is you have to beat Lost Belt Chapter 1. So if you haven't beaten Anastasia, it's time to get to work.
Oh, what, she's a villain in that?
Yeah.
Wow.
In Lost Belt Chapter 1, she's a villain. But yes, probably, hopefully by the next podcast, if the Christmas event hasn't already started, I'll see what other intel I can dig up on Christmas and Christmas Lucoa. But I am excited. I am definitely hyped, and I'll probably be running through that and shit posting all the Christmas Lucoa I can find.
Awesome.
So yeah,
and I will be enjoying all of it.
Thank you.
As it comes out.
Thank you. So yes, we'll definitely be coming back to that. Meanwhile, what is going on and is kind of wrapping up, I guess, was the most recent chapter dealing with the Lost Belt, Chapter 3, which I believe, what is that now, 2 weeks now it started? As of this podcast, excuse me. It took place in China. And I know that if you're like me, and you're a huge Dynasty Warriors, you immediately think you're like, oh, feudal China, it's Dynasty Warriors. Well, this one actually took place 300 years before Dynasty Warriors. And it dealt with some other warring factions and whatnot. I apologize, I'm not too deep into the lore and whatnot. And I have been trying to find a synopsis of what the story was. It's so all over the place. I'm like, I want to know more. I really do. I know that... kind of spoilers. The one dude who's been helping us, he's the son of the guy from Fate Apocrypha. He ate poison cake because evil Tamamo Veach, who got confirmed as being called Tamamo Veach, sneaks into our mobile base, poisons dude's cake, he eats it, and now we're like, we need to go into Lost Belt 3 to find Tamamo Veach and get the antidote. And it just becomes a giant cluster. We start meeting all of these Chinese servants from Chinese myth, and they're all kind of doing their things. And so, my favorite, for obvious reasons, is Liang Yu, and she is based off a Chinese female general from that era, 300 years before Dynasty Warriors. I apologize, I don't remember the name of the era. But she was apparently an actual female general, so there's no gender bents. None of that going on here. Legitimate female character was a female character.
It's too bad.
Oh, jeez. And then she turns out to be like another big sister type. So sign me up. I've been enjoying the fan art we've been seeing from her. We have the concubine, who is now apparently a vampire.
Oh.
And I feel bad for her because they keep making jokes of her looking like Saki from Emergence. And if you know that doujinshi, I feel bad for you, man. So then now everyone's going to go look at what's Emergence and who's Saki. And
it's a good read, everybody.
Disclaimer, don't you heard nothing from me, don't do it. I'm saying don't do it. If you do it now, that's on you. You've been warned.
Don't listen to him.
God damn it. Yes, and apparently now she's a vampire. So Saki got tired of your shit and became a vampire. And I believe her banner just went up as well. And then we come to Prince Ling Ling. Prince Ling Ling, who is
sounds like the name of a panda.
You're not that far off. He wears a mask and everything, and he's a Kita shiny general prince, and he's actually, I believe, the villain's servant. So that's the main villain that's his or her servant, and he's really one of those not such a bad guys. He's just, can't do much because he's a contracted servant. But he's also like super Bishonen, Kita sparkling, and I'm just kind of like, oh god, I'm barfing rainbows. Oh god. So I don't know how his gameplay is. I don't know anything. I've only seen the fan art where they're putting him in a maid dress, and I'm like, he's a prince. This is what you guys do to your princes. It's crazy. Prince Ling Ling. And then apparently there's Mothman. Mothman is, if you saw the meme, that it's Christmas Lucoa as Pokemon Heart Gold, Mothman is the other side where it's Pokemon Soul Silver. That's Mothman. And,
is this like Mothman Prophecies type of Mothman?
I don't know what is the point of the design. I don't know what's going on with Mothman. Apparently, he's a 5-star ruler class.
Oh, and is that the guy you were talking about?
Yes. He is interesting. I'm kind of weirded and creeped out. So, I really haven't looked into who he is and what he does. But apparently he's been blowing up the internet and getting memed to hell and back. So, yeah. Yeah, wow. Mothman. I'm over here. I'm trying to find
an image.
Of Mothman. Oh man, I'm finding all my Lucoa pictures.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Well, yeah, she looks really happy, and he just looks. He looks like somebody killed his dog.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Yeah, I was trying to hope that maybe someone has a normal picture of him. But yeah, no. God damn it. So everyone's making like all these moth and lamp memes and all of that.
Oh my god.
It's like, but yeah, he's the ruler. Oh, and by the way, he's also voiced by Jun Fukuyama. Oh. If you guys all remember the Joker and Joker meme. And so I said that too. I was like, oh, how funny that Joker is in Smash and Fate Grand Order. Pretty much on the same week. Go figure. Wow. And so everyone is instantly making like Lelouch memes and Lelouch and Fate Grand Order and all that, and it's like, oh god. So I from the design, I'm not really feeling him. I think it's too creepy and weird for my tastes, but the internet seems to love him, and they love memes
are creepy anyway.
Yeah, right. So lamp,
yeah,
lamp. So
I love lamp.
Jeez. It's we're taking a turn to the weird, but
if nothing else, at least you have some good memes.
Right. But my favorite character has to be, and I can't believe that they did it. They turned Lubu's horse Red Hair into his own servant. Red Hair, Lubu's horse from Dynasty Warriors from the Three Kingdoms era, is now a servant on his own, and he's voiced by Hikaru Midorikawa, the guy who did Diart Mood in Fate Zero. and a legendary voice actor in his own right. I mean, we're talking Hiro Yui, Saber Marionette J.S. Faust. And as a matter of fact, I just found this out Friday night, Saturday morning, because it was like 2 a.m., that Hikaru Midorikawa is also currently Gridman. I don't know. Did you ever see SSS Gridman yet?
I have not.
Yeah, he's Gridman. Like, the Gridman, the main, like, the robot, yes, the mecha. He is Gridman. Hikaru Midorikawa is the voice of Gridman.
Has a voice?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. When Gridman comes out, he starts talking. That's Hikaru Midorikawa. I was like, he sounds so familiar. Why does it sound so familiar? That's Hikaru Midorikawa.
Okay.
He is legendary. He's like 20 plus years of voice acting under his belt.
Yeah.
And he's a f***ing horse because he's goddamn Hikaru Midorikawa. Do whatever he wants. And so, because he did DR Mood in Fate Zero, and now he's Red Hair the Horse, one of the FGO streamers, Hanako Green, I sometimes watch him on Twitch, he called him Horse Mood. So now I call him Horse Mood. Because he's all like, he sounds like he's still DR Mood, but he's a horse, so Horse Mood. So I was like, I like that. I'm going to call Red Hair Horse Mood from now on. So regardless, when I get to that point in FGO USA, I will be rolling for Horse Mood.
Oh my god.
And so, these Chinese servants and the memes are just glorious when they come out. And, I would like to know more of the story. I've heard bits and pieces of what goes on in the story. For those that know the character Li Shu Wen, and you know that when we saw him, when he debuted in Gura Gura, he was... Koha Ace, he was Lancer. And then when he came out in Fate Extra, he was Assassin. And when he came out in FGO, we only got him as Lancer. And so now he comes back in Lost Spell Chapter 3, and he's an old man martial artist, and he's an Assassin's class now. And he looks like Jet Li... kind of that dude from Matrix Revolutions. Remember when Neo was trying to find the Oracle and he had to do that hand-to-hand fight with the guy?
Oh,
the bodyguard? Yeah. He kind of looks like that kind of a stereotype. And it looks cool, and apparently he's beaten all sorts of ass. He's not selectable yet. So that he's probably going to be a 5-star, I would say, the way that they're hyping him up. And I was like, I don't know what to think. Some people have said he's dope as f***. Some other people are just like weirded out. I don't know what's going on, man. Look, okay, here you go. That's how he looks.
Oh yeah.
You look like that Kung Fu Master type.
Yeah.
So because he's not really that old. I believe historically he died in like the 1890s or something. Okay. So they have photos of him. He lived during the age of camera photography, so he's not that old. Right. And he was a monstrous like martial artist and all that, and literally could kill a person with his bare hands. So that's how he normally looks.
Oh,
so
yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, and then that's how he looks now in his assassin form. In this Lost Belt 3, that's how he debuted, and everyone's like losing their shit. Like, what the fuck happened? Like I said, I don't know. I'm not 100% on what the story is, but apparently Li Shu Wen, Assassin Lost Belt 3, is tearing shit up. I want to know more. That's all I can really, the best way I can summarize it is, I want to know what's going on. I found a Reddit thread that actually summarized the stories for, like, people that played the Japanese version.
Yeah.
They translated the stories, they summarized them, and made it into a Reddit thread. And I bookmarked it for future reading, and I never went back and read it. And I think that I might have to do this.
To kind of find out what happened with him.
Yeah, I just kind of always told myself, like, oh, well, they're doing it. It's coming to USA. I can just wait. And it's like, yeah, but I'm so curious and so lost on what's going on. I wish I had some more context. But yeah, apparently it's crazy in China right now. And I know people that, have been playing for like the last 2 weeks. Most players are wrapping up the story part of it, so yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what's going on, and it's building up now for the 4th chapter of Lost Belt, in which case we're going to India, apparently.
Oh.
So they had mentioned previously that Lost Belt is going to be taking place in all different parts of the world. And so they mentioned China, they mentioned India, but they never said when they were going to do these all. So it seems like this next one is gearing up to go to India. And that could be why they introduced Captain Nemo.
Okay.
So Nemo, even though right now he's just kind of there for the story, now it seems like he might actually get an opportunity to be playable.
Okay.
So he might be coming up pretty soon as a rollable gacha servant. You could pull him from the gacha. We'll see. Anything is possible, Aniplex, FGO, Type Moon, Delightworks, they do what they want.
Yeah.
They have no consistency. People got butthurt over Christmas Lucoa because they thought it was going to be Christmas Drake. Because they were like, oh, it goes by what the storylines were. And so the first one was Saber Alter. And then the second one was John Alter. And now it's going to be Okeanos. And it's all like, all right. And they said, no, suck our balls. You get Christmas Lucoa. And so it was like, I was the only one saying boo earns. Everyone else was like, are you saying boo or boo earns? Boo! And I'm here like, I was saying boo earns. That's how that feels. So, yeah. Lost Belt 4 in India. I'm glad that I have my Indian servants, and I've leveled them up. Not so in my USA account, actually. That's not true. I did level up my Karna in my USA account in preparation for the current chapter in Babylonia, but in my JP account, I have both of the Bollywood boys, and I'm glad that I leveled them up. So Bollywood. I believe, the Bollywood boys. Yeah, they're very popular in Japan apparently with the Japanese ladies. They love the Bollywood boys. Yeah, they're at the top.
Okay.
And character pulls. So yeah, I'm curious to see what's going on in India. I'm definitely interested in China because, like I said, I am big into Dynasty Warriors. I love that story. It's wonderful. Basically, Lord of the Rings in ancient China, feudal China, pretty much.
Nice.
But I think that's my way of summarizing it. But there, when it comes to these Fate Grand Order storylines, everything has to be ridiculous and grandiose and over the top. So they're hinting that there may be huge references to cycles of reincarnation, like birth, death, and rebirth, all of that. So I don't know what the motivation is for why we're going to India, outside of the next villain really likes Indian-based legends. So we'll see. And I honestly haven't even touched China because after all the grinding I did to get to Lost Belt Chapter 2 and beat Chapter 2, and then all the events that we had like Oni Land, and then the Christmas rerun, I just got burnt out on my JP account. It's my backup account. It's not even my primary account, and so I go in now just to do my logins, and I haven't even been playing for about a week now. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there in a bit and turn on my JP account and start grinding again. So yeah, probably when they announce Lost Belt 4, that's when I'll go beat Lost Belt 3. So,
okay.
But I'll definitely keep up on what's going on the JP side of things because, like I said, that's your best source of what's about to or what's going to come down for us on the USA side is watch what's going on in JP. They threw me for a loop because I honestly thought with the USA side that they would spread the events out since they knew that we have Thanksgiving and all that, and they crammed game updates. When they did what we were doing, like Babylonia, Solomon, the end of the game, in Japan, they did it all to make sure they had the game done by the end of the year. They didn't really have to do that with USA because they also padded the weeks with game updates, like bond updates and bond increases. They didn't have to do that for the USA side, but they still decided to follow the Japanese timetable. And so we're getting the Babylonia chapter. And then probably next week, this week, we'll probably get a new news update talking about the Solomon chapter. And if you take away any advice from what I'm saying now, beat Babylonia as soon as possible. Because if they hold true to what they did before, they will give us extra quartz if you beat the current chapter by a certain time. I think it's maybe usually about in the middle of the Solomon chapter, I think. I can go and get the dates on what JP did. But yes, bottom line, just beat it as soon as you can. Definitely enjoy the story. I'm liking the story. I'm having fun with it. But beat it as soon as you can, as promptly as you can, as accurately as you can. And you'll hopefully you'll get rewarded from it if they hold true to what they did in JP.
Okay.
Real brief, I did want to say that I ended the Christmas event on box 44. I was following one of the FGO Mexico pages, and this guy finished on box 60. 60 boxes. And I wish I would have done a lot more. I wanted to do a lot more, but I'm just limited by time in real life. So I couldn't do it. I have failed you, senpai. So, but that was fun. That was a fun event. I'm looking forward to next year, 2019's Christmas event, when we do Christmas in the underworld.
Oh,
yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, because that banner servant is a Rishkagal, Blonde Rin.
Oh, okay.
Blonde Rin.
That piqued my interest.
Yeah. So Blonde Rin will be Christmas event next year.
Since we lost the last episode, nobody heard that Rin would be my waifu.
Oh yeah, Ishtar.
Yeah. One, she's a tsundere.
Yes.
And two, she's got nice thighs. And I remember in the first episode I told you I was a thigh dude. So
very fair.
She's got two things going for her.
Very, very fair. Yeah, this whole Babylonia story is actually pretty much like Rin Tosaka fan service, because it's funny that even though it's the goddess Ishtar in Rin's body, she still has the traits of Rin, so she's still kind of like a spoiled brat girl that, but she really means well.
Yeah.
Even though she's kind of a dork, but she's
even better.
Yeah, she's adorable in her own try hard way. And so, it just adds more, moe to her. So
yeah.
I like Ishtar. I'm glad. I rolled for her. I threw money at her, and she came home. So it's more than I can say. Thanks. Thank you, goddess.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get her. I rolled twice.
No.
I got nothing.
Oh.
And I don't have the money to be throwing at it.
Yeah.
Go with the move and all.
That's fair.
So, hopefully they offer her again.
She'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they do, hopefully I'll be able to throw some money into it and go,
yeah.
Please let me get her.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a friend from high school, and he wanted to get an NP5 of Ishtar. I think he only got an NP2, but he wrote his player message, NP5, please come. And I was like, bro, you're really going to do all this? Man, I wish I had that kind of income. No, because I'm actually getting prepared for later this week. We're going to get the Part 2 banner, which is going to have Lukoa.
Oh, this week?
So, yeah.
For the US?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's two banners. So the current banner is for Gay Clay Enkidu and Gilgamesh Caster.
Okay.
And then the Part 2 banner will be Lukoa and Gorgon.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for Part 2. I haven't rolled at all. So I'm waiting for the Part 2 banner, and I'm hoping that Lukoa Nei-san comes home. So please come home, big sister. Yeah. So I knew I was gonna like the character of Lukoa just by design, I want to throw that out there that yes, I am half Mexican, so I feel I'm a little biased, for my people's heritage and their mythologies and whatnot. And even though I really wish I knew more about Aztec myths and mythology. So if you guys have any good references, please post them up. I would love to check it out and learn more.
Wikipedia.
So you're so wait, she's not a blonde woman that speaks in English and Spanish? But yeah, no, Lukoa is wonderful. And not only is her personality and the dialogue pretty fun, but she was designed by Hiroe Rei, who is the mangaka from Black Lagoon.
Oh. And
so if, Revi and all that, it's... I would never have imagined that he would be doing an FGO character. And that's the only one he's done.
Yeah.
Some of these other guys have done like 1, 2, 5 characters. But he only did Lukoa, and probably Christmas Lukoa. And that was pretty fascinating because it doesn't also seem like a character that he did well until Lukoa smiled and showed us her shark teeth. But even that was hot too. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I was all like, Lukoa Ne-san, please break my pelvis, crush my pelvis.
Snoo snoo.
Death by snoo snoo. Don't care, had snoo snoo. He just, and I always said too, I was like, the mangaka from Black Lagoon is pretty much the same guy that does Hellsing. They're pretty much the same guy. Let's be honest with ourselves. They like just want to be each other. They're just all like, oh, you're snarky and shoot everybody? Yeah. You have Nazis? Sure do. We're the same guys. Oh, Are you surrounded by a ragtag group of dorks? Yeah. It's like, oh, you have a really hot chick that like also is like your rival from a rival end. Yeah. It's like, yeah. The tropes are all like the same. They basically want to be the same person, so let's not kid ourselves. I do. Okay,
I can hear the angry typing right now.
Yeah, right. That's fine. I never said that either series was bad or anything. Funny enough, so what's the guy's Amane or something like that? The guy that does Hellsing and all that.
Oh,
I don't care about Hellsing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That's your furious typing. So Hellsing just didn't appeal to me when it came out. Was it 2003 or whatnot? And I just wasn't interested. A couple of years ago, like 2 years ago now, Drifters comes out, and they tell me it's from the same guy. I watched the shit out of that show because they were like, "Oh yeah, it's another series about the guy who did Hellsing." I'm like, whatever. They're like, "Oh, but Nobunaga Oda's in it." Boom, sold. Saw the whole thing. It downloaded the opening. I was all like, this is my shit. Drifters is great. I love Drifters. Drifters is what fate wished it could be. So I was like, yeah, I was all up in it. I like Drifters.
Kind of the same concept, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And a lot of the same characters, too. A lot of the same characters are in both.
Fate has so many characters, it's kind of hard not to overlap.
Right. True. So, so Hellsing, not really big into it. Drifters, kind of big into it. So,
it's another thing. I loved Hellsing.
Yeah, I know. I'm the odd man out here when I say I don't really care for Hellsing.
But I ain't gonna be angry typing because I'm right here.
Yeah, you just tell me to my face. Yeah. So I just, like I said, it didn't click with me. It just didn't care. I was more interested in Gungrave at the time. So I know now more furious type is like, you like Gungrave over Hellsing?
Yeah, I was gonna say that one I didn't get into.
That was the guy that did Trigun is like, yeah, it's the guy that did Trigun. I don't care,
Well, Trigun was awesome though. So
yeah, it was the same guy. I don't know if it was the same like artist and writer or whatever, or the mangaka. I know it was the same artist.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were one and the same though. That's why I don't know. I'm confused.
I think they may have been.
They may have been? Okay.
I would pull out the book, but I packed it. So.
Oh, no worries. Well, I'm sure like someone will post up in the comments and inform us.
Somebody will let us know.
Yeah, as I felt that it was the same thing. It was like indestructible main guy who has a bunch of guns and shit, and only difference really was that Brandon Heat was driven by revenge and vengeance, and Alucard is just like, oh, I'm Alucard. So,
well,
yeah,
Dracula. So
yeah, okay, all right, Dracula.
Spoilers.
Yeah, decade-old spoilers. So yeah, so. Lukoa. So yeah,
let's get back to Lukoa.
Yeah, but like I said again, comment. We definitely would like to engage in this conversation. Feel free to comment, react, respond. By all means. If I need to give Hellsing another shot, please do. And please don't tell me about Hellsing Abridged. I think we all know about Hellsing Abridged.
They have an abridged?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
I know about it.
Your sarcasm and your non-sarcasm both, yeah, warranted. Actually, I have a Hiroe Rei story too. So at AX 2010, I was going into my hotel. I was by myself. I go into the elevator. I hit the button, and there was a guy standing already in the elevator. and he had two guys standing behind him on each side, and I'm just kind of like, okay, Japanese guys. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking at his badge. He has an AX badge on, but for some reason he has a picture of Revy on it, and then he has these ribbons coming down that were like black and red, and they said like Black Lagoon and all that. And I'm just kind of like, oh man, I was like, he's got a special badge on. What the f*** is that? And I was just like, oh, you guys here for Black Lagoon? And the three of them just all looked at me like, and they're all looking at me like, motherfucker. And then the Hiroe Rei, I had no idea it was him at the time. He just kind of looked at me and goes, ugh, and nodded his head and grunted. And I was all like, alright. So then I got off the elevator, and yeah, I had no idea. I saw his badge was different. It had Revy and shit on it. And I was like, wow, how did he get a special Black Lagoon badge? That's fucking cool. I had no idea that was him. I only knew it was him because apparently it turns out that he's kind of antisocial. I learned about that afterwards, and that's why he kind of is just like, shut up, nerd. Go away. Don't talk to me. Do you know who I am?
No.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just knew that he had a badge that looked way better than mine. And he had an entourage. He had fucking bodyguards to keep those dirty-ass weebs off of him. But yeah, I didn't realize until years later that was him. And that's why he was just kind of like,
Oh, you see a photo of him and go, hey,
you know
that guy.
I don't know if it was 2010 or 2009, but our friend Jose, I was at AX with him too.
Yeah.
We met Nabishin, the guy that drew Excel Saga, Excel Saga guy, Nabishin. We met him right outside of the JW Marriott, and he was just smoking, and we're like, oh, can we get a picture of him? He's just like, yeah. Puts out his cigarette and poses with us, and we got a picture with him. I think it's still on my Facebook. So it's funny because, Nabishin is just like, yeah, let's go. But Hiroe Rei is just like, Urgh. So I'm like, all right, bro. All right, you're obviously too cool for me, man. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
Go on your business.
Yeah, But hey, I'm still gonna throw money for Lukoa, the character you designed. So okay, yeah. All right, you still get it. So, I like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. Lukoa as a character, gameplay wise, her third skill is literally called Lucha Libre.
Oh.
Sign me up, fam. I'm not so much these days, but I'm still kind of a wrestling nerd. I've been following mainly a lot of the Japanese stuff, which is why I haven't been following it as actively as I used to.
Right.
Because now I'm really, really specific on what I'm watching. But the sheer fact that her style is actually based off wrestling, like her animations are wrestling, she talks about wrestling, and her in-game skill is wrestling, I'm like, holy shit, this is fantastic. So,
talk about stereotype.
Yeah, right? She has a serape, she has the Aztec headgear on, and Lukoa, Quetzalcoatl. What's funny, too, is where I just was in the story, in English, she actually says, just call me Quetz. She actually says Quetz. And I thought that was hilarious, because remember in Dragon Maid, Lukoa was just like, oh, I'm Quetzalcoatl, but just call me Lukoa. And I want to say, was that a translation? So Dragon Maid interpreted it as Lukoa, but Aniplex and Type Moon and all them, they translated it as Quetz. So they both said, just call me by a nickname, but there was two different interpretations of the nickname.
Right.
So maybe, I wonder if the Aniplex USA guys wanted to call her Lukoa, but they just were like, oh no, that's Dragon Maid. We don't want to step on Dragon Maid, so we'll just translate it into Quetz. If you guys know, please comment. I would love to know that useless trivia.
In the JP version, did it sound like she says the same thing?
I don't know. That's a damn good question. I would love to know. If someone out there knows the answer to that, like what did that dialogue get translated into? That would be very helpful.
I know they're voiced, so that definitely would help.
Yeah.
Because you can actually hear what she's saying, and then go back to Dragon Maid and hear what she says, and like,
compare them.
Similar, or no, maybe not.
Yeah.
But that might be a good way to see if maybe they were trying to translate it the same way and just had to change it a bit.
Yeah, because they don't want to be like, oh, that Lukoa is Dragon Maid. We don't want to associate with Dragon Maid.
Yeah.
Even though we have literally the same character. So yeah, it was really interesting, and that leapt out to me. Other than that, like other than me gushing over Lukoa and Hiroe Ray from Black Lagoon. The most of the other stuff
Cool
is
guy.
Mr. Cool Guy. Too cool. Too cool. Like I said, Ereshkigal will be coming out for Christmas next year. So save your quartz if you like Blonde Rin. I actually was planning on watching a video more about her in depth because I think that people have put out videos about her skills and whatnot gameplay wise. I remember watching a lore video about Ereshkigal and Ishtar and all that. It was pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, the story was kind of picking up when I stopped. I'm not trying to use any in-game items. I'm just trying to use natural AP. So I'm just I'm playing the game as I get the chance to.
Right.
So I think I'm about halfway done. I think I'm on chapter 12. And I think there's 22 chapters.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. No, this one's a long one. Because this is the one that's getting animated.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the Babylonia story is the one getting animated.
Okay.
So, I wouldn't recommend anyone to just be like, oh, I'll just watch the anime and just not play the game. You should probably play the game. So, you should probably play the game because I'm also worried about what they're going to change or cut out.
Right.
To make it
fit.
I want to say it would be 24 episodes because if it's 22 chapters and gameplay, it has to be at least a full anime.
I mean, but Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Zero and all that were 24.
Yeah.
This should get 24.
Yeah. Should.
Being the key word there.
Yeah. And it's also got some good voice actors coming in on this part too because I learned that Aya Endo, who voices Lukoa, and that's Cheryl Nome, if you all watched Macross Frontier. And apparently, if I was reading this right too, not only was Aya Endo Lukoa, but she's also currently the Maiden of the Sword in Goblin Slayer.
Sword Maiden?
Yeah, Sword Maiden.
Wow.
So I was like, I wouldn't say she's putting in overtime because clearly she voiced this Lukoa like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But Sword Maiden is current, and so I was just kind of like, how interesting. What good timing. And then obviously like Sayami Haori and Kobayashi Yu, and then all the other ones are coming back, like Tosaka Ren's voice actress and Gilgamesh's voice actor. So, and then Takahashi Rie is coming back. So it's the vocal cast is pretty solid for the Babylonia chapter getting animated. So I'm looking forward to the anime, especially now that I'm able to understand the story, because I just ran through this Babylonia chapter in Japanese like 2 months ago now.
Okay.
Because I was trying to rush to get to the Halloween event in Japan, so I kind of caught glimpses of what was going on and putting together what was going on. But now being able to understand completely what's going on, it's kind of fucked up. more so than the previous storyline.
Right.
But that too is getting animated, but that one's just getting an OVA.
Oh.
So that one, to consolidate that, because then that one was fairly long too. That one was like almost 19 chapters. And they're going to consolidate Camelot into just an OVA. Or maybe multiple OVAs. I can't recall what they said.
Better be multiple if it's 19 chapters.
I would say at least 2 OVAs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be fun. So yeah, that's the 2 Fate animated projects that I'm looking forward to at least.
All right.
But like I said, again, it's also interesting timing that they chose this Babylonia chapter as we're doing it in America, and obviously it's long gone in Japan, but they're also doing the stage play too off this Babylonia chapter. So we're playing it now, it's getting an anime, and it's getting a stage play. So apparently this Babylonia chapter story is definitely the hype, apparently. So that's good stuff. So
nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, this is all building up until our final boss, which is going to be Solomon. And
makes sense.
the Solomon, which is probably going to be next week, I think.
Let's look this up.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going based off dates right now. So today's the 9th. Yeah, it's probably going to start next week. Like probably around anytime between the 17th to the 19th, and then it's probably going to be running through Christmas.
Okay.
So that's the end of the current story of what we're doing right now, And it's interesting because it has not only solo boss fights that you fight on your own, but it also has community boss fights. We're used to raid battles now.
Right.
You know, it's a boss with like billions of hit points, and then we all come at him and take millions of hit points off of him at a time, and then we do one final boss fight on our own, and then that completes this story. So the Fate Grand Order story, which is called Fate Grand Order,
right,
that is wrapped up. So by New Year's, we'll be done. We'll be done with this current storyline. And then starting next year, we'll be doing the Epic of Remnant storylines for the whole year. I think there's like 4 or 5 Epic of Remnants, I believe.
Okay.
So then, and that's going to take up our entire year. But there's going to be a metric ton of collab events and other various events and reruns that kind of fill in the time. So it's not that you really get a whole lot of time to rest.
Right.
It's going to be just a bunch of other things that are just going to fill in the time. So it's definitely stuff to look forward to. I keep telling my friends that I play FGO with that if they're not carrying their weight in the Solomon raid battles, that I'm going to disown them. So, you know, I jokingly say that to all you guys too. Carry your weight or else you're kicked out of the channel. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But train your guys. Apparently level your bond points, because bond points will play a huge factor into the final chapter, the final boss fight we're about to start.
Huh.
So focus up on that. Bring your best guys. Bring in diverse guys. Don't be afraid to bring in your 3 stars. Everyone helps. And if you don't mind spoilers, go read up on it a little bit. Check out a wiki. Check out an FAQ. Brush up on it. It'll definitely save you a lot of trouble if you do. Because a lot of this stuff is kind of meant to break you. So it helps to know what you're about to get into. So, but it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And when Solomon goes up, that's actually also the banner where Merlin's going to start. And funny enough, now understanding what's going on in the story, I love how they're all beating the out of Merlin. He deserves it. God, he's a dick. He's such a little asshole. I'm so glad that everyone is just talking shit about Merlin. Everyone's just like, Merlin, die. Merlin, go choke and die. Merlin, go into a ditch and die. Merlin, I'm going to kick your ass. Merlin, can I stab you? I love it. Oh, I love every moment of it.
They're asking permission to stab him?
Yes, they are asking his permission to stab him. It's beautiful. I love it so much. This anti Merlin. Oh man, it makes me feel alive.
Wow. Is he a villain?
No, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He's just a dick. He's just a little asshole. He's a good guy.
I mean, I expect this kind of behavior against a villain, but he must be really bad.
I guess it's a matter of perspective. To some people, he's considered a good guy. To some people, he's a little dick.
I know where you fall.
Yeah, you know, anybody from the Round Table in the Fate universe is an asshole to me, except for Mordred. Go Mordred. Mordred was right. The Round Table must die.
Little rebel.
Yes. So.
The only knight who could surpass her father but get stabbed.
Hey, mutual destruction is okay with me. Double KO.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. So yeah, if you're not rolling for any of these guys, if you don't care for gay Clay is not gay. Remember that. Just remember that Merlin is going to be coming out in a week or so. So, also a good idea to save any money that you get for Christmas. Go buy quartz, roll Merlin. But even beyond that, we're getting into like gotcha hell, because our New Year's banner is going to be Musashi, and then after Musashi is going to be Gramps. The old man of the mountain. And so you get no breaks.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, I mean, I'm torn right now on a personal level, because I don't know if I want to roll for Musashi now, because Musashi will be coming back in around October when we go to the Shimosa chapter, which is in like a year. Yeah. But that's a lot of time to save money.
That's true.
So, and right now I'm not really hurt. I was, about a year ago, I was hurting for Saber-type characters, but now I'm not so much. Now I'm actually pretty good. Especially since I was able to roll Mordred on the last Round Table pickup
that's too
banner.
bad.
That's too bad. I'm actually quite happy. And on top of that, I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are all like, hey, Musashi. So it's like, if I need access to a Musashi, I'm not going to be hurting for it. But who knows? If my financial situation allows, I would be, happy to roll for her. But knowing that I get another shot in October is also kind of like, okay, I'm not going to
rush it.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry too hard about it.
I got time.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after summer. Summer is really where I think I'm going to go broke. Because I literally want everybody in the summer. Literally want everybody in the summer. So, that's going to break me. But, Gramps, Old Man of the Mountain, if you haven't read Aries comics, she makes this adorable version of Gudako. And Gudako has Old Man of the Mountain, King Hassan, and he's kind of a dope. He's a huge nerd. He's just a dork. And it's just kind of like their adventures. And Eri is a Japanese artist. I believe it's a girl. I believe it's a lady. And the way that she interprets their relationship is just the best. And Gramps is always just overbearing and just always like Gudako, always Gudako's well-being, everything, Anyone that hurts Gudako instantly gets, stabbed.
I think I've seen you post a lot of these.
Yeah. So, briefly what happened was that Eri she makes them on Twitter, she posts them, and then people would come, like our FGO USA guys would come, they would download the comics, they would translate them, and then they would share them with, the USA community and everything. It was whatever. No one really cared. Some people in Southeast Asia actually started to download Aries comics from Twitter, print them out, and then sell them at conventions out there. And some of them also would download them all, put them on YouTube videos, just moving videos and all that showed all the comics. And then they would add revenue, and then they would just keep all the money. They would give nothing to Eri without her permission. And so Eri caught wind of this, and she's just like, you know what? F*** you guys. No one can download my shit. If I catch anybody, I'm reporting you. And she just kind of balled up a little bit. But the guys that translate her comics talked to her, and they were like, hey, we're from the American community. We have nothing but love and respect for what you do. We just want to translate your comics so more people can enjoy them. She said, okay, that's fine. And so what they do now is they ask her, it's like, hey, is it cool if we download your comic? She goes, yeah, sure. And then when they're done translating the comic, they actually send her a copy.
And then she can post it.
Yeah, she can post it. She knows what's going on. And then we post it along with the tweet going back to the original comic.
Okay.
So that's kind of the system and the understanding we have. And so when I was in Japan this year, I believe it was in the beginning of this year when I was there for Evo Japan, I found a bookstore that actually had a bunch of comics from Comic-Con Winter, the one that had just happened, and I found Aries comics there. And so I bought all of them, and I tweeted her a picture, and I said, yo, thank you so much for doing what you do. I bought everything I could, and she tweeted back. She was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. And I was like, boom, that's good. That's good for me. I can ask for no more. Because those comics are wonderful. Yeah. And I think, quite honestly, straight up, no bullshit, I think that the Eri comics are probably the reason why I even stuck around for FGO. Because those comics were consistently coming out, and they were pretty funny and pretty engaging. And I have a guy that I learn all my FGO from, and he loves Gramps. He's a huge Gramps guy. If he ever listens to this, he'll know who I'm talking about.
Right.
And so it was one thing to kind of have him talk about Gramps, but then you read these dorky comics, and you're like, all right, Gramps is pretty fucking legit. And it kind of branched out from there. I kind of learned other characters, other pictures, other artists, other fan arts, and stuff like that, and it just kind of blossomed and blew up. But it really did start with these comics from Eri. If it wasn't for those, I probably would have dropped this a long time ago. Yeah. But when I learned how involved most of the community was, I was like, all right, this is cool. I'll stick around. And here I am now.
I mean, if they're the ones that I'm thinking of that I see you post, then I like those. They're fun. They're a fun read.
Yeah, they're pretty legit. And Gramps is not like that at all in the game. He's all like, executioner.
Sure he's very serious, probably.
Yeah. But there's a fight in Babylonia that I'm looking forward to, where it's you get to use Gramps as a guest character, and they throw 30 mobs at you, and the mobs all have low death resistance, and it's basically just like a test drive of Gramps.
Right.
So you're just out there just slaughtering these jabroni enemies because you can see how OP Gramps is. Because with every attack a Gramps does, I think it's like a 5% chance of instant death.
Oh.
Just on a normal attack. And it's a permanent effect that only he has.
Right.
And so, even though it's a 5% normally chance, these enemies have lower resistance, so it's an even bigger chance for them to just instant die. So, it's really just Aniplex and Type Moon and Delight Works just selling Gramps to you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you see how cool he is? Hey, give us money. So, but that banner will be in January. I think like right after the Musashi banner ends, then I believe Old Man Hassan will kick in. So if you like all of that, if that sounds cool, if you like those airy comics, Gramps is coming in about a month. So I've seen some people already saying save for Gramps.
Yeah.
If you're one of those guys, he's coming.
Yeah, send me the link to her Twitter. I'll post it on the video.
Okay, absolutely.
That way people can go check her out.
Okay, for sure. Definitely. God. And so, one of the other things, too, that they announced at the Traveling Carnival in Japan was they're going to apparently start doing an orchestra. So, you know how, like, Square Enix does the Final Fantasy? Yeah, I forgot what it's called. The Crystals or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
And then Zelda does it too, doesn't it?
Zelda does it. It was like Symphony of the Goddesses or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was who else? One other guy does it, or one other thing. I don't know. But yeah, now the Fate's going to do it too. So they went out, they got an orchestra, and the orchestra is performing a bunch of music from the game.
Right.
And so they're actually going to perform live in Japan in April. And then they're going to put out a CD in the end of January. And so they started putting out some like artwork with all that. So everyone's kind of got their opera dresses and stuff out. You know, the artwork's pretty nice. The headliners in terms of the characters are Mozart and Salieri, you know, because they're the two competing composers.
Right.
You know, and lore and history.
Yeah.
So they're kind of headlining that. But it's kind of a cool concept. I'm not... Or Kingdom Hearts. That was the other one. Kingdom Hearts does it too.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts does concerts.
I didn't know about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. It's cool for those that like that. Truth be told, I'm not that big into the orchestra stuff. Because for me, quite honestly, most RPG music, I just don't pay attention to. It's usually, supposed to be like sad or melodramatic or, like we're at a seaside town, so it's all, like little Roombas and whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stand out to me, unless it's like Final Fantasy VIII Laguna's theme, The Man with the Machine Gun. I fucking love that song. I love Laguna. No homo. If it's like something like that, where it's something like, energetic, upbeat, like in your face, that's the stuff that I like. That's the stuff like that, like just grips me and I care about. But most of this other stuff, for the most part, I turn on YouTube. I'll like put on my computer while I'm playing on my TV, and I'll just have like YouTube running, or I'll watch Twitch. Twitch will play, and I lower the in-game music down to like you can barely even hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm just, the gameplay makes up for it, so the music I ignore and all that. But I'm only one person. There are many people that love these things. They love the music. They're like, oh, it makes me feel certain things and think certain ways. So if this is your cup of tea, I say check them out.
Yeah.
There's they said there's the track list of what they're going to do. You can find that online. Right. So you can actually see the songs that they're going to perform. Or if you are in Japan in April, go ahead and check it out. As a matter of fact, okay, no. I was going to say something. No, it's not. It's not true. Yeah. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you really like the FGO music, check them out. Could be something worth liking. Like I said, I like the artwork. Let me see actually if I can find it. I think someone shared it, and I can find it real quick. Hang on. Right now, it's a bunch of Ishtar Ereshkigal things.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, this is the picture. I'm gonna rotate.
Rotate.
God damn it.
It's like, no, don't want to rotate.
So there you go.
Okay, that's a promotional image?
Yeah, that's the promo art.
That's pretty cool.
So, you see there's Sanson, Marie Antoinette, Salieri, Mozart, Gudako, Gudao, Mosh, Da Vinci, and then Sherlock.
Sherlock?
Yeah, Sherlock.
Didn't even know he was a servant.
Yes. He came out in the story, and then he's coming out next year as well. I just don't recall when. It's a good question, actually. And he's actually come out in a couple events, too. That was one of my favorite events, going into Sherlock for just a little bit. This year, in Japan, they actually did an event with Sherlock and Moriarty. Yes, Moriarty's in the game, too.
Yeah.
And it was a murder mystery event.
Nice.
So, basically, and it was in the game. And it's like, they're all, you end up in like the mansion or some and then someone gets murdered. And so Sherlock comes up with his own theory on what went down and what the murder was. And then Moriarty's all like, this guy's full of shit. This is what really happened. And so you kind of have to figure it out too. And so there was like Team Purple, which was like Lancelot and Mama Raiko, because they were Team Purple. And then there was like a couple other people. It was like Queen of Sheba and some other people. And so you played the game. I wasn't sure on how it breaks down, on if there was multiple endings or multiple options. I'm not quite sure on how the end was, but that was kind of the setup. It was a murder mystery event. There was a story. There was in-game. They gave you items and all that. And then in real life, they actually contracted with a cafe, I believe, in Tokyo, where if you go to the cafe, I believe it was kind of set up like a real escape game. So you go in there and you pay the entrance fee, is like 500 yen or something. And then they actually give you the whole thing, and then you can get with your buddies, and you figure it out.
Yeah.
You try to do it in live, and then if you complete it, you get something. You turn it in, and they're like, "Okay, congratulations, here you go, you get a free prize." So
nice.
they had it in the game doing a murder mystery, and then you go to the cafe, you can do it like a real escape game. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if they would ever do that in America. I would love for them to do that. I don't know. That would be pretty. They'd have to do it at a con.
Yeah,
it would have to be like an anime expo or something.
They would plan it where it came out around a con.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, if you come to the convention, we're going to have this event.
Right.
That's going to be incorporated with this
with the in-game
booth or
event.
something.
Yeah. And it would be a way for everybody to get involved. So even if you can't go to AX, you could just play the event on your phone. And they did have the banner was like all of those guys too. It was like really random because it was like Sherlock and Mama Raiko on the same banner, and it's like, wow. And then like Lancelot, people do like Lancelot for some reason. But yeah, it was like a bunch of these guys, and
it was a pretty good berserker. So.
Terrible saber. Even though on the tier list they put him really high, I hate him. So, but anyways, that's me. That's just me.
Poor Lancelot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And actually, funny enough, that reminded me too. So when Albert did a live stream last week before the game went down for maintenance, before the game went down for maintenance, I think the night before, he did a live stream.
Right.
And he was talking about the future of FGO and all that. And they had announced in Japan that they were going to do the traveling carnival. They were going to go around Japan and all that. So when Albert was doing the live stream, Albert actually mentioned that in FGO USA, we were going to get the FGO road trip.
Oh.
And so it's almost the same concept, which is Aniplex is going to be going to different cons, different events, and they're just going to be like, FGO, just FGO.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, and they didn't really announce specifics. When they did it in Japan, they actually announced the voice actors, because they're actually pairing the events with voice actors.
Okay.
So this past event that just happened, they had Kana Ueda, who was the voice actors for Tosaka and Ishtar and Ereshkigal.
Oh.
And then they had the dude that's the voice... I don't know his name, I really should learn it. He's the guy that voices Arash, Gills, and Gills Caster, Bluebeard. they were the two guests, the two MCs basically, and then every stop is gonna have different voice actors. One of them is gonna have like Aoyuki, another one is gonna have like Takahashi Rie, another one is gonna have Koshima Ayako, Saber.
Right.
So every stop is going to be different voice actors in the Traveling Carnival. They haven't said what they're going to do for our FGO road trip, but let me see if I can pull this one up. They just said that it's going to start next month, January, and it's going to be in LA. Is the first stop.
Will they be making a stop in the Bay?
I don't know. I would like to see them come to Fanime.
That'd be cool.
It would make sense because Fanime is a pretty major convention.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it's called.
They haven't announced the official name yet?
No. Damn it. I wouldn't even know how to begin looking for it. So,
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to find it and get it to you later.
Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty rad. And like I said, it's good marketing for them because they can continue to show off FGO, and it's good stuff for us, the fans and the players and all that, because we can just go and keep ask our questions and hang out and buy merch and all that. What I was trying to find, and I'm going to share it to you later, is they actually made an artwork. Okay. For us in America. Oh. And it was pretty rad because it had like them in an RV and shit, and they're all like barbecuing and everything. And so it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice, and it's something that the community has been clamoring for. Is they want Japan Senpai to notice us.
Yeah.
Notice me, Japan Senpai, and everyone was always bitching and whining like they don't care about us. They're not giving us as much free stuff. And so finally they were just like, all right, look, you little this is what's going to happen. And so, we got this. I think that what happened was they weren't sure. They honestly probably had no idea that FGO was going to blow up like it blew up.
Right.
And they probably didn't want to invest resources, time, money, staff, any of that into something they had no certainty of.
Yeah.
What if FGO had come out and it just did nothing, and it just flopped? Do you think that they would have done what they did with like AX and bought buses and put the poster on the side of the Bank of Wells Fargo building? Yeah, they did that.
Wow.
So they did all of this. They had the VR. They also had VR. The VR, which are also coming out next year, by the way. Mm-hmm. The FGO VR games are coming out to America.
Ooh, nice.
So I now need to go get a VR for my PS4.
Yeah, now I got two as well.
So, would they have done that if the game flopped? Probably not.
No.
So now that they recognized that they made, especially like after Jolter, all the money they made, and that there is a market in America, yes, now they're going to start pumping more money and resources into it. The campaigns that they do for like Twitter likes and shares and all that, they're going to start doing more for them. But in the past, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they had no idea. And it's all business. It's all let's be honest, it's all business.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal against anybody, but when you're a company like them, you're in it for the money. You really are. And if there's no money to be made, you're not going to support it.
Right.
But the fans did come out. They did their end of the bargain. They put in their money, they put in their time, they showed their support, and I think now Aniplex is realizing, hey, if we treat them nice, they'll give us more money. And that's what we like. Yeah. So I think that's now why we have this FGO road trip in America, and I think it's pretty cool. The running meme with me and my FGO friends is that the moment they announce Aoi Yuki or Takahashi Rie, bam, I'm gone.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
I'm gone. If that happens to be AX, I'm going to AX. So I don't think it's going to be like Takahashi Rie comes to Fanime. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think there's a big chance that's how they would do it for AX. I think AX would be it. So
okay.
Yeah, keep your eye out on the FGO road trip.
Probably be the same for Tosaka's voice actor.
Kanaweda?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd actually have a better chance of catching Kanaweda at EVO because apparently she goes out there.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently she's huge into the Gundam fighting games.
Oh.
Go figure.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might just catch Kanaweda over there, and it's like, just look for the best dressed Japanese lady there at the Gundam section. It's probably her. She's also really tiny.
Just have a photo, be like,
yeah, right?
Yeah, this is you.
Yeah, oh man. So she came to EVO, EVO 2015, I think? And because, so Kana Ueda also does Rachel Alucard from Blaze Blue.
Oh, okay.
So Arc System Works brought her out as their guest of honor. And so a friend of mine, she was cosplaying Amelia Rage from Guilty Gear. And we were just kind of shooting the breeze with the Arc System Works guy that was there. And then he's just like, okay, well, you guys come over here. You guys stand right here. You're now the front of the line. And we're like, woohoo! And so then everyone else was all like, oh, yeah, wait, the front of the line is here? He's like, yeah, right behind them. Right behind them is the front of the line. So it's all like, so, yeah, because it was like super limited. They were like, she's only going to do 100 autographs. And it's like, all right, and you had to be there on time, blah, 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 super, super restrictive. And so then she comes out, Kana Ueda comes out, and she's so tiny.
Yeah.
She's like this 5'2" tiny girl, but she was f***ing adorable. She had her yukata on, she had like the sandals, the socks, and the parasol, and I was like, holy shit, this is like one of my Japanese animes. So, because, you know, it's like remember we were talking about the VGAs and it's like, why can't they dress up? That's dressing up.
Yeah.
That, you know, is very formal, very respectful. And, you know, it's also summertime, so the yukata is also, you know, like it was like Setsuban or something, like a festival or carnival. So for her, that is dressing up. And it was super cool to see that, super respectful. And it was like, wow, that's Rin. That's Tosaka Rin. That's f***ing amazing. But then they were like, she's only signing these posters from Blaze Blue, nothing else, and everyone's got their Fate stuff. I brought my Hyperdimension Neptunia because she does Iffy IF from Neptunia. That's also her. So I brought my Neptunia art book, and everyone's got like their Fate playmat and all of this. Their Fate like TGC or whatever trading card games, TCGs. Yeah. You know, and they've got all their Fate stuff and their T-shirts on, and it's like everyone's like, "Aww."
And then the line shortened.
Oh no, the line didn't shorten. The line grew, if anything. And then they were like, "No pictures. Don't even breathe on her. Don't look at her. You just had to go up there. You're like, arigato gozaimasu," and then just walk away. They were like, okay, if we do like 30 seconds per person, we should be able to fill everybody. And it's all like, all right. No names. Don't even say... No, I think they said no names, but then they were like, okay, give your first name. So you can write... You should go write your first name. And yeah, and it was pretty cool. My friend, god damn it, she's like sniped a picture because she's a So, and I was like, why would you do that? You're gonna ruin it, though. But apparently she had enough fun that she comes back every now and then. I kind of was like looking around. I was like... Yeah, creepy me.
She here?
No, yeah. But I didn't see anything, so I was just like, all right, whatever.
All right.
So I just went back and I was like, all right. But, yeah, the rumor mill is, I know a couple of people have managed to find her in the crowd in previous years, so, you may find a random Kana Ueda at EVO sometimes. So, but yeah, no, she was really cool. She's really pretty, really tiny, so, great lady. So I appreciate her coming out to the middle of the desert just to sign a bunch of FGC nerds materials.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean, in regards to her too, I guess the only other thing that we were talking about all the animes coming out. So the Heaven's Feel movie is coming out next month.
Yeah.
So I haven't checked to see if New People in San Francisco has tickets up, but I probably should. So it's gonna sell out on me. But
gotta keep up on it.
Yeah. You gonna come? If I buy you a ticket, are you going to come?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
We'll talk. We'll talk offline, off this podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone else, check the website. Check the Aniplex website. There may be showings close by you as well. And if you haven't seen it, this is the second movie, so be sure to watch the first Heaven's Feel movie so you know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to do that then.
Yeah.
I definitely got time.
Yeah. I want to say Anime New York was when the Blu-ray came out because they were selling it for the first time there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just be cheap and download it.
I mean, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, there you go. I downloaded it too, but it was a pretty copy because it was like one of the earlier sub versions, and so it's like kind of the sub quality is not that good, but Again, now that the official Blu-ray is out, you can probably find a better copy somewhere.
Speaking of bad sub quality, Goblin Slayer had a Fate Stay Night moment in subs.
Oh, yeah?
Where the guild girl was talking about retired adventurers.
Yeah.
About how they'll bring in retired guild adventurers to train some of the newer guys.
Yeah.
He goes, see, even after they retire, they can still live before they die.
Oh my god.
I'm like, are you serious? Of course, that's how that works.
In the Babylonia chapter in FGO USA, so Albert has confessed that when they do memes and jokes in the FGO English or USA translation, he's usually the one that approves it. So it goes through him before it makes it to our games. And there actually was a fourth wall moment where one of the characters actually says, servants die when they are killed. And it's all like, I respect Albert and his meme game.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly respect that. I said this in our Lost episode, but he gets the short end of the stick because he's unofficially the face of Aniplex USA. But when he memes, he does a damn good meme job. So I give him nothing but love and respect. As a poster, I respect a man who knows his memes.
Yeah.
So if you guys ever see Albert at a con, give him a pat on the back. He works really hard. And remember, these decisions aren't his. He works with what he's given, and he's just trying to do his best. So if you play FGO and you see Albert at a con, just pat him on the back. Buy him a beer. So he deserves it. So.
Definitely.
So.
Just got to work with the Japanese.
Oh, man. From what I heard, too, they were pretty stingy, man. They're pretty rough over there. But, it's also a different cultural work ethic, I believe, too. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But, I mean, like I said, I'm having fun. We're almost halfway to our year 2. And I'm still having fun, So, I also recommend, too, if you like FGO memes and shit posts and stuff like that, check out the FGO Mexico page. Oh my goodness, they're a whole other level, man. They are fantastic. So, not only that, there was another page called the Nasuverse. So, Nasuverse, Nasuverse. They're another Spanish-speaking page, but they were actually watching, or they got all the information for Christmas Lucoa and all of that practically before anybody else. And I was like, if you think about it, they're taking this information from Japanese and translating it into Spanish. I would never in my life conceive that. Japanese to Spanish, wow.
Yeah.
Because usually it could be like Japanese to English and then English to Spanish, or Spanish to English, English to Japanese, but never Japanese to Spanish. That's a hell of a combination. I have nothing but respect for those guys. Man.
I think you mentioned them in the Lost episode, too.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
yeah,
man.
the
definitely worth repeating that, then. Check them out in FGO Mexican edition. If you need jokes and memes and whatnot, check them out too. They were the ones that I shared on my personal page this morning, where it was the edit of Captain Marvel trailer, where it was a picture of Foe, the little mascot character, and the old lady on the bus was named Merlin, and then Foe just punches Merlin, and I was like, oh, that is art. That is true art. I love Merlin abuse. He deserves it.
I gotta look him up.
Oh man,
I know you've seen these cushions I have with like Kizuna and Emilia. I had one with Merlin on it.
Oh jeez,
I sold that one.
Good.
I had it. I also had one with Gilgamesh.
Oh, he's such a prick. I never liked Gilgamesh. I never liked Gilgamesh. He's just always obnoxious. So, I don't know. And he actually got a following because he was obnoxious. People just like that head type character. And I was like, nah, not me, man. I don't know. Then again, now that I'm thinking about it, most of the Fate Stay Night guys were pretty garbage anyways.
Most of them.
Was it like Kojiro was like the only cool one. Emiya is alright, I guess. Kojiro was cool.
And like
Medea.
Didn't like Emiya at all.
Oh yeah, see, there you go. We were also talking to so Junichi Suwabe, who is the Japanese voice for Emiya, is also the Japanese voice for Theodore from Persona 3. Persona 3 Portable, and then he came back in Persona Q, PQ, and then they put him in the dancing game. So I was like, it's Archer Emiya dancing. That's pretty fantastic. That's pretty hilarious.
Was that why I saw that meme?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see these memes where they have two different like fandom type of characters combined, and I'm like, I have no idea
what's the joke.
What the joke is here?
Yeah, there was a fan art that they made years ago where Emiya was dressed up like Theodore, and then Edie's Field was right there, and she's so happy that he's all in the velvet room now. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So that was just a voice actor joke.
Okay.
You'll see those sometimes. Like there was one that I shared. I don't know when I shared it. Probably months ago, where it was Yoshiko from Aho Girl, and she's just being Yoshiko. But then there's Tanya, like saying like, "What are you, some kind of a dumbass? What are you doing?" And it's because it's an Aoi Yuki joke. That's all.
That one I would get because I know they did the same character.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I also didn't really like Tanya either. So
what?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Tanya.
Oh man!
But I did like Aho Girl.
So you like dumb Aoyuki, but you don't like smart Aoyuki.
I guess so.
Oh man. Oh.
Because I had an SO of Tanya as well.
Oh yeah.
I sold that one.
Oh man.
But yeah, not a fan of Tanya.
That's sad.
But that didn't mean she didn't do a good job voicing the character.
Yeah, considering for what the show was and all of that, and it's all like Tanya's just doing what she can to get back home. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I know that the movie is supposedly coming out, if it's not out already, since the last time I've looked into it. But
I do have to say, I did like the artwork they showed at the end credits from like the light novels.
Yeah,
a lot better than the art in the anime.
Apparently, that's the same artist that does Overlord.
Yeah.
So he did both, and he even did a crossover picture of Tanya and was it Ainz?
Yeah.
Sasagana, Ainz-sama.
Isn't there like some crossover anime coming out with all of those? Tanya, Konosuba.
Oh, I have no idea. I'd watch that, absolutely.
I thought I saw an image for that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, by all means. That's true. I would watch the hell out of that.
It might be one of those like chibi type of anime things, but we'll see.
That's fantastic.
If it's even coming, it might have just been a fan image, for all I know. But anything else going on with Fate, or?
I'm just playing through my memories right now in my mind. That's pretty much it. That's all that I got for now on the Fate side. I think that we'll probably come back to this. I'm sure that almost in every podcast, Fate will somehow come up.
Yeah.
Especially as long as I'm in the game and on the meme pages and in the community. Definitely will come back. But Roman did mention as well that there was certain people in the Discord that play and all that. So maybe I will at some point join Discord, and if you guys want to exchange player IDs and whatnot, we can add each other and post up if you guys in the Facebook group or on the comments of this video what your guys' experiences with Fate are. Are you playing FGO? Are you excited for Heaven's Feel? Are you not excited for Heaven's Feel? What are you looking for in FGO? If they seem to be really following the calendar of events, and so if you are looking forward to an event, in the future, please post up. I'm looking forward to the Fate Extra event because I want to get Galactic Thought. So
is that the character's name?
Yeah, the character's name is Galactic Thought. No, oh God, why her name is eluding me now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. So yeah, if you guys have any FGO experiences, please post up. Kiara, there you go. I don't know why that couldn't remember. Kiara Galactic Thought. So, yeah, Let's talk Fate. I'm down.
All right.
So as I'm pulling up these pictures of Kiana, so Form 1,
a nun,
Form 2,
and a demon.
Yes. She's from Fate Extra CCC, so that's a galactic.
Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be feeling this way about a nun. Jesus.
So, like I said, I'm excited. So, yeah. So let me know. Are you guys looking forward to the anime? How far are you guys in Babylonia? Have you beat Babylonia? In which case, I'd be like, did you get any sleep since it came out? Yeah. So let's talk.
If you haven't, how far have you gotten? Like, what was it? Singularity?
Yeah, Singularity.
What Singularity are you on?
Yeah.
I'm only on the first one. That's how far behind I am.
Wow.
I'm still going through Gene and Gene Alter's story. But I think I'm just about done. I think Marie Antoinette just died. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's about it on my end. I guess you want to wrap this up then, or?
Yeah. I guess that's it for this podcast, episode 2.5, 2.5.
Yeah.
A good 3.5 hours, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe just 3 because I did have this going for a little bit. So. So yeah. Again, this is supposed to be bi-weekly.
Yes.
But because of what happened with the technical issues, we had to wait a month.
Yeah. Sorry again about that, guys.
But from now on, it should be bi-weekly. So expect another episode in 2 weeks.
Yes.
By that time, I should be at my new location. So unfortunately, you'll be traveling like 85 miles to get to me.
Oh, awesome.
Unless you want me to pick you up. But, I mean...
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
We'll discuss it.
Yeah.
So yeah, any comments, any suggestions, any recommendations, anything you want us to talk about, like subject matter, video games, anime, Fate, manga,
anything at all.
Go for it. We haven't really talked about manga too much.
Yeah, no, because most of the stuff is already like in the anime form. So
yeah.
But yeah, we can one day, one of these podcasts, we'll do manga.
One of these days we'll talk about Nagatoro or something.
Yay, there you go.
But yeah, until the next Anime Mystics podcast. Bye.
All right, take it easy, guys.